Hello and welcome to another episode of High Rollers D&D with me, your Dungeon Master, Mark Sherlock Humes. This guy, get out of here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, friends. Joining us for another excellent episode of Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. I'm joined, as always, by these people. We got the full squad. We got Ree, we got Tom, we got Katie, we got Trot, we got Kim, all here from the spirit realm, ready to play some Dungeons and Dragons. I've conjured these spirits from their graves, ready to play a spooky.
We are angry.
You're angry at all of my natural 20s from last week. Last week, we had to cut the stream a little bit short. Hopefully that won't happen again today, and we're just going to have a lovely game of Dungeons and Dragons, aren't we?
We are. We did commune with the spirits to make sure they don't cut the power this time.
Sacrifice.
Spirit ritual business going on here. That sounds like you're...
I spoke to him on my Waluigi board.
Wow.
Said it was okay.
Wow.
Hey! Yes!
Wow!
Wow! It's a me, Wario.
Before we get into anything else today, a big thank you to our sponsor, D&D Beyond, have been with us this whole time. There's their little name down on the bottom of the screen. D&D Beyond, we love them. We cherish them. We're going to be using their website for our characters, for the combat tracker, which I am a big fan of, and everything else. And Chris Trott is going to tell you even more about the wonderful D&D Beyond.
Hey, did you know you could pre-order Strixhaven, a curriculum of chaos, now on D&D Beyond for exclusive character sheet customizations and Strixhaven-inspired digital dice available when the book launches? Sweet.
No.
I can tell you a little bit about what Strixhaven is. It's actually the third release of Magic the Gathering themed source books, and this one is obviously in the world of Strixhaven, and there'll be more information coming soon on a D&D live, I believe. They're not actually revealing too much right now. However, there is an article on D&D Beyond about which magical college will you attend, because there's 5 to choose from, and it goes in depth on all the different colleges there, which is quite interesting. So I highly recommend you check that out, and if you like it, pre-order on D&D Beyond for all those bonuses. You'll get the digital format, you'll get the game compendium and access options from searchable listings, you get the encounter builder stuff built in, the character builder, and digital character sheets as well to customize, to theme up with Strixhaven. So please go pre-order it now, and leave a forum post saying High Rollers are the best, and they got me onto D&D Beyond. And
definitely do that. Use our link in the chat or in the video description below. As always, if you use the links to things like this, it does massively support us, because it says, hey, I came from this awesome show, High Rollers, and I'm supporting your website. That's going to make them love us. So love us to help them love us by loving you.
If you give a little love, you'll get a little love of your own. There's a Noah and the Whale quote for you.
There you go.
Anyone expect that? No.
No.
Not today.
Don't really know what you just said. And if you don't know, Strixhaven's kind of, it's like a magical school themed world. It's obviously Magic the Gathering. They have all sorts of crazy stuff with planeswalkers, and some of those are showing up as teachers in Strixhaven and stuff. But if you want like a cool idea of running a D&D themed campaign or adventure in like a magical school, Strixhaven. Check that out. One thing I was going to mention before we jump into the recap and stuff today, I was going back and watching last week's episode to track all the combat damage and initiatives and stuff, because I forgot to write those down last week.
This guy watches D&D.
I went back and checked, and I noticed on our YouTube channel, we are like 5.5 subs away from 100,000 subscribers.
What?
Which means we would get
hang on. 5.5.
Not 5.5.
5,500.
A bit more than that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Did I say 5.5?
You just said 5.5. I didn't realize you were that close.
Where did we get that half sub from?
Honestly. Yay! Go, stupid brain, dyslexia, speaking nonsense. 5,500.
We want a plaque. We want the plaque.
Yeah.
We want the plaque. Give us the plaque. We want the plaque.
5.5 people. Yeah, we need 5.5 people to sub. No, we need 5,500 people to sub.
So close.
But that's a pretty awesome thing. Like, that would be an amazing little milestone.
Nice
we recently
achievement.
had like a big drive to hit over 1 million views on the first Aerois episode, which we've done now. We're actually about like 1.2, 1.3 million views.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people
done.
are coming to check us out now that Crit Roll are on a little bit of a break for a little bit until Exandria Unlimited and some other stuff comes out. Come on over, subscribe up, help us get that little 100k. That would be magic.
Magical.
Do that.
That would be great.
Is there anything else to talk about?
On Tuesday, Chaos Twins, Chaos Quads again for the release of the name
Dark
of the
Alliance.
game. Dark Alliance.
Dungeons and Dragons.
That's the one.
Dark Alliance.
Dark Alliance. We're going to play that on Tuesday, 8 till late as usual. Yeah, that's it. That's me.
Hell yeah.
Anyone else?
So yeah, that will be on Tuesday, 8 till 8 on Twitch, on the High Rollers Twitch channel, not on Yogs, on Twitch, High Rollers Twitch channel. Going to play through some Dark Alliance.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. I love the Dark Alliance series. I used to play it on PlayStation, and this new one looks super fun.
It was
playing
so
as the
good.
cast from the Drist Duerden novels. So you actually play as Drist and Wolfgar and Brunor and
Famous.
Canterbury and all that. That looks pretty fun.
Yeah.
One thing to quickly mention, merch-wise, on the European store, we've sold out on a ton of stuff. I was checking it before we came online. We've got a few more Elora pins, a few of our long-sleeve t-shirts, but a lot of stuff is gone. So grab it while you can, because a lot of that stuff ain't coming back. So you come and grab it while you can. On the US store, there's still Cam and Elora pins, Starbane mugs, and other stuff as well. So you can go and check that out as well. Questtrot's just very quickly changing stores there. But yeah, so make sure you go and grab that stuff. Things like the long sleeve and the stats t-shirt, the pins. Once they gone, they gone. So if you want to grab them now. And thank you to everybody who bought the Quill plushes. We sold out on those. We have very much enjoyed seeing everybody's pictures. Look at the dead, emotionless, cold eyes of Chris Trott.
He don't believe in nothing.
He doesn't believe in nothing.
Don't believe in ghosts.
But yeah, cool. That's it, I think.
I think
I
that's
believe.
it.
All right, that's it.
Good
In
job.
that case, let's play some Dun-Duns, and then I've got a very short recap for last week's episode.
About 4 rounds of combat.
Hello, and welcome back to Aerois. Last time on Aerois, after returning from rescuing Valor and with plans to head to the City of Glass to aid the gathered Guardians, Sentry was lured out into Horizon streets and confronted by a group of corrupted Guardians who now call themselves Dominators and into battle. The three foes had proven to be dangerous adversaries, and whilst one of them has been defeated, the Storm Chasers have taken significant damage and their opponents show no sign of stopping. Last week's episode was cut short due to a power cut. For those not in the know, Trot does run the streams and has all the software overlays, music, etc. But we are working on ways to make sure this doesn't happen again. Thank you for sticking with us through the shorter episode last week. And we jump back into the battle to set the scene. We are currently in a darkened street on Horizon. There are a few lanterns offering light nearby. And a couple of the houses seem to have lights, and you have heard some very nervous movement coming from within, people hurriedly trying to get out of the way of windows and doors in case the fighting escalates there. We currently have Ayla, Sentry, and Quill all surrounding this large armored commander-like figure who's been issuing orders and tactics to his companions. He is currently being affected by a slow spell that was cast by Nova and has dramatically prevented him from being able to attack en masse. One of the dominators, these corrupted guardians, is dead, having been destroyed by Ayla and some of and Lucius as well. Combination of might and magic. However, in some more concerning situations, one of these dominators, this kind of ninja-like assassin that sped over the rooftops and clambered along the walls, has managed to heavily injure Nova, who has had to retreat into the ethereal plane and has backed away in a ghostly form, but has now left the sort of Lucius undefended and also open to this mysterious, this stalker, this dominator stalker to now come and aid in the battle against the commander. I basically went back and made sure I tracked all the damage in the initiatives, and I can tell you that we are going to be, this is only like turn 3, by the way, so about 18 seconds of turn 4, 20 seconds have passed, so there is no sign of guards like coming to help or anything like that. You guys are on your own because this is happening so quickly. Even like shouts and calls and things like that, their guards aren't going to arrive for some time. Keelek, Nova, I'm assuming you've moved away because we basically went through your turn last time. You cast a Theor on us and you've moved away. There's not really much more you can do. You are still maintaining concentration on slow in the ethereal plane. There's one of the nice things that you can maintain concentration on spells. There's no real way for them to hurt you in the ethereal plane, so that's still active.
Just emotionally.
We just go. Just as a little bit of housekeeping, I will tell you the commander still has 2 legendary actions left to use. Still has 2 uses of their reroll saving throw ability as well. And damage-wise, the commander is looking pretty beaten up, like heavily, they've got big dents in their armor from Ayla's weapons, Sentry, and the magic of Lucius have both caused some like damage to his armor, but still standing, still looks to be very sturdy. The stalker figure, when you look over Lucius, really doesn't seem that injured. A little bit of damage, but nowhere near to the same extent as the others.
Okay, I think we've only pulled off a couple of spells on him at the moment, haven't we?
Yes, that's
me and
exactly
Nova.
Focused on the commander as well.
Yes. Speaking of the commander is going to use 2 of his legendary actions at the end of Nova's turn, and is going to attempt to use Frightened Foe, which as they kind of roar, they let out this kind of almost like wailing screech, and their body begins to pulse red. The vine-like tendrils all around them try and reach out and grab on whoever they can. I need Sentry, Quill, and Ayla to make saving throws against being frightened. Sentry, I don't know if you are immune to being frightened now, because I can't remember Paladin stuff. Yeah. Okay, so you don't need to make the saving throw. Ayla and Quill is a Wisdom saving throw.
I'm.
Aura of Courage. None of them can be frightened.
There we go. What's the range on it? 10 feet. There you go. So none of them are affected by it. So you just, as almost like a kind of reaction to it, Sentry's own matrix glows, and it just seems to almost kind of cancel out this kind of aura of fear being projected out from the commander.
Wow. All right.
Thank you, Sentry, because that was a 3.
There we go. That would have been very bad.
Very nice.
Quill.
So I had it in my mind that my Beacon of Hope, I don't have any more.
You don't have. Nope, you lost it. You took like 40 odd points of damage, and you failed the concentration check.
And as for helping me out, and I guess also updating from where we were last time, how's everyone's health looking?
2 other things I'm going to point out. Both Sentry and Ayla cannot regain hit points until the commander's next turn.
Yes.
You were both affected by his draining blade.
Cool. Hey, Lucius, how you doing? Great.
Okay.
Hey, Ayla, how you doing?
Well, I can't regain, but I'm okay.
Sentry, how you doing?
Taking some hits.
Can't regain, but I'm just
About half.
About half. Hey, Nova, you're looking pretty
Can't
bad,
see
but
it.
also ethereal.
I'm a spooky ghost. Woo!
Yeah, meanwhile,
Good
I'm
time.
about half as well. Right, so for my turn, I want to shocking grasp this boy. So with a +9, I get a 20 to hit him.
Will hit, yes. The slow spell, helping. Basically, you can see just about to go out of your reach, but the slow spell slows him down long enough to grab.
Well, with 3d8 damage, I do 5 damage.
Excellent. 5 points of damage. Every little helps.
I had advantage if he's made of metal, and he is, but I've got it anyway. I guess I could aim for a crit. Didn't get it. So he can't take reactions until the start of his next turn, and I want to use that
He couldn't anyway because of the slow spell.
Oh, great. Well, either way, I'm going to back up from him to about... it's still in range of Sentry, but away from him, and then use a bonus action to heal myself with thingy, that one. Bonus action heal. Healing word.
Yes.
So I'll do 3d4 plus 6. Boom! Oh, God. Okay. 13 healings myself.
It's all right.
Okay. Nice. We go to Sentry then. It's the order is Sentry. The Stalker will go, then it will be Lucius. So have a plan of what you want to do, but keep in mind there's a monster before you. Sentry.
Just a quick question. If I use Misty Step, does that provoke opportunity attacks?
It doesn't, and currently the commander can't take reactions because he's slowed, and Quill just used Shocking Grasp anyway, so even if he wasn't slowed, he wouldn't be able to. But yeah, Misty Step teleporting doesn't provoke opportunity attacks.
All beans. I will try and smack this dude twice, and then I'll try and get out of his way. That's the plan. So let's rock and roll. First roll is a unnatural 20 to hit.
That will hit. Yeah.
Woo!
This one, again, that slow spell just causing his defenses to be low enough for these strikes to actually hit. Otherwise, these would be hitting, well, they would still be hitting. They'd be hitting his AC just barely.
I'm going to do a level 3 Divine Smite on this boy. So that'll be 5d8. Bam, 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 bam. Plus the 5.
I don't know why, but for a second there, I was like, I remember when Ree was new. Listen to her now. Oh, unnatural 20. Level 3 Divine Smite. Oh, I'm so proud.
4 plus 5 is 29 damage for the first one.
29 points of damage. Heavy blow as Her Majesty's Rose kind of comes crashing down, tearing through the metal and stone plates.
Sweet. And then I'll go again. So that is a 27 to hit for the next one. Woo!
Luck has shifted.
Luck has shifted this week. It's very good. I'm going to do another level 3 on this guy. So another 5. 23 again, plus the d4. 23, 24, 29 again. Exactly the same.
Oh, man.
9 points damage. 2 heavy blows. The radiant light of Sentry's Matrix kind of glowing as each strike hits. As the blinding light. You can see this commander is heavily injured now. These 2 blows having torn chunks of stone and metal plate armor away from them.
I've just moved a couple of feet back just to get out of his range for the time being.
Nice. All right, perfect.
Turn.
Everything on your turn done, Sentry?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Leaping, in fact, actually. Yeah, I think the commander will actually call out and just say, "Stalker, get over here and help me." And you just see kind of like running up the wall and onto the roof of this nearby building, this arm-bladed Dominator will come running. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Just about managing to get in range. What's up, Tom?
It's like in XCOM when you get a commander to run in one place and they take the roof, and it's like that's not quicker. It's not quicker.
Yeah, it is quicker. This guy has a climbing speed. He's quicker. And it's cooler.
Let's go
he
round.
jumps down. Both of his arm blades flashing out. Actually, can somebody roll a d6 for me? Let's say Tom, roll a d6 for me, please.
Oh, okay. Boop, bap, beep, boop,
See if these vents, these poison vents. That is a 5. Does not recharge. The vent's still kind of smoldering with smoke. However, this thing is going to land down beside Ayla, and it's going to 2 strikes in your direction, Ayla, aiming for your vital spots to try and score a blow. That is going to be a 22 on the first one.
Yup.
This is going to be with the sneak attack, and then I need you to make a con save. So I'll do all the physical damage first, because we're going to half that for you. And then sneak attack damage. So that's going to be 32, so 16 regular damage, and then a con saving throw, please.
Uh, 8 plus 9 con save.
High. Yeah. So you feel again like this draining energy trying to suck the life out of you, but it doesn't. You manage to kind of like shrug it off or like knock the creature away before this draining effect can fully take place. That was its first hit. It's going to make a second attack against you for a 20 to hit.
Yep.
No sneak attack on this one, because it can only do it once per turn on its turn. So that's going to be 10, half to 5, and then another con saving throw, please.
That is 19. Rolled a 10.
19. Again, same thing. Tries to kind of drain this life out of you, but doesn't quite manage. But you can see it's now trying to kind of keep you occupied, trying to take down this biggest threat to the commander that it can see. Lucius.
Lucius is going to do some sorcery management with his bonus action. Nice. He's going to expend a level 2 to get 2 sorcery points. He's then going to cast Chromatic Orb and twin it, hitting both the Stalker and the Commander. Please.
Excellent.
Let's start with
so
the
2
Stalker.
individual attacks. Yep, Stalker first.
Level 3. Here we go. First one.
I keep forgetting about this ability because he's not often attacked. You actually have disadvantage to attack him. So you can see that this darkened frame, there is like a slight shimmering to the air around it.
17's the lowest.
17 is still going to be a hit though, just barely. Even though there's this kind of shimmering field, the orb of magic manages to strike properly.
I'll do the damage for him first then. So that is 22. Acid.
Well, it's 1 damage roll, so we remember 22 damage for this one, and now you roll second attack.
Sure.
So 22. Is that cold or acid? Did you say?
Acid.
Sorry.
So only 14 for the second one, so the commander misses.
The commander manages to kind of bring up the greatsword and kind of block the acid from striking.
For visual, because I'm behind sentries, like in the middle of these two. Essentially, I'm using both hands to like whiz them past Sentry's head, smash into them.
Both come smashing in. The Stalker kind of caught off guard, maybe not expecting it, but the commander readies this blade and it kind of splashes, not quite striking home. Anything else, Lucius?
I've done my bonus action meta magics, so I'm good.
Okay. All right. At the end of your turn, the commander's going to use his last legendary action to use. Does he want Thingy to attack? Yeah, technically, I'd get another sneak attack because it wouldn't be on his turn. Yeah, he's going to command the Stalker to make another attack against Ayla, desperately trying to get Ayla down so he can get away. So the Stalker will make an attack with advantage against Ayla. So that's currently is a 19, but the highest is actually going to be a 25, Ayla.
Yep.
And then with the sneak attack, that's a very low damage there. The very high sneak attack. So that's going to be 33, half to 16 again. And then another con save, please.
Okay. Interesting. 13 plus 9.
Yeah, it's just, I think you basically have to roll less than a 5 for this secondary effect. But yeah, manages to kind of like, again, while you're kind of twisting between the two foes, this arm blade of this ninja-like Stalker just cuts at a visible part of your body, maybe cutting into the waist or the ab muscles as it does so. Then it's the commander's turn. That was at the end of Lucius's turn. Commander's turn. The draining effect on Sentry and Ayla ends. He is just going to make an attack against Ayla because he's only got the one attack that he can do at the moment. Oh, at the start of his turn, Ayla You take 10 necrotic damage, because all of these red vines, these kind of like this red mist that's exuding from him is going to drain your energy, and he heals a small amount as well. Luckily, Quill and Sentry both moved away out of that aura, otherwise he would have been hitting all three of you doing that. So that's at the start. Then he's just going to try and attack Ayla, because it's the only target, and he's slowed. He can't really do anything else. So this is with his Draining Blade. One attack, 24.
Yep.
And then I need to remember that you don't have reactions where you can do stuff, whereas the other guys do. So only 14 damage, so 7, but again, can't regain hit points.
I can't heal,
until the start.
and I'm pretty
Can't heal. Yeah,
pretty shit.
That's the tactic, especially against a big target like you. And that's going to be it. He can't do anything else, so it's just a wisdom saving throw against the slow. 14. I'm guessing that's still a no, Nova. Your DC's what, 17, 18?
18.
18, yeah. So still slowed, still like moving like he's covered in tar, like swimming through molasses, just unable to shake off this spell from Tiangong, these spectral chains weighing him down. We go to Ayla.
Hello.
Well, Tom's making a face.
He's making a face.
I'm just thinking about Spellbreaker. When I restore HP to something, I can also end a spell of my choice on a creature.
It's not
Would
a spell.
that apply to... It's not a spell.
It's just tendrils coming out.
It's like a draining. It's like some sort of Hadar corruption in the blade.
Okay.
It's basically, imagine it like every time he wounds Ayla, the wound is encrusted with like red crystals and fibers that's like they won't mend together as long as this material is on there, and then it kind of fades away after a few seconds.
Oh, hey, I hate that.
Yeah. Sorry, Ayla.
Correct.
Tom was making a face and I wanted to check and make sure he was
I'm always making a face.
26 to hit the stalker.
The Stalker, yes. Yeah, because he took damage, so you don't have disadvantage against him anymore until his turn. So, yep, that hits.
16 damage.
16 points of damage. Heavy blow. Tries to block it, but knocked back.
Math. 30 to hit.
Yes, 30 will hit, yes.
Crikey.
Just about.
15 damage and a dex save.
Yes, dex saving throw. Oh, of course. The guy with evasion rolls a natural 1.
You'll love to hear it, see it, do it, feel it.
14 lightning damage.
14. So because of evasion, he's still going to take half damage, but if he'd succeeded on the save, he would have taken no damage. So he takes half instead, basically. So he takes 7. So you can see this nimble little thing tries to leap out of the way of the lightning, but the hammer blows have kind of knocked it off kilter, kind of unbalanced it, and it still gets blasted along one of its arms as it desperately tries to flinch away. And you can see now that Stalker is like kind of swaying to and fro. Pieces of its broken metal and stone form have fallen to the ground. Looks heavily injured. Ayla, end of your turn.
Yes, please.
Okay. The commander. That one is weak. Try and finish her off. He's going to call out, and the Stalker is going to make an attack against Ayla with advantage. That's 22 to hit, which I think does. And then sneak attack plus normal damage is going to be 38. So halved would be 19. Yep. And then a con saving throw.
That is 13 plus 9.
Yeah, yep. Still just cannot. This draining effect is just almost like these, as the arm blades dig into you, the same sort of tendrils try and weave into your skin, and you just rip yourself free from them, unable to get a grip. But yeah, that's the ally command. We go to Nova Vija, who is in the ghost realm.
Hello, it's Spooky here, and I'm really cold. in the ghost realm, I am going to nip a little bit towards the house in the north for a little bit of cover. And then I'm actually going to come out of etherealness, pop, step out. And I'm going to attack the commander with Eldritch Blast.
Sure.
Commander has a Hexblade Cuss on him as well, so I will get +5 damage to all of my rolls.
Nice.
To my damage rolls, that is.
Sure.
So, here we go. So the first one is a 23 to hit.
23 will hit.
That's 5 plus 2. Unfortunately, just 12 points of damage on that first one.
Points.
25 to hit on the second beam.
Hits.
14 points of damage on the second beam.
Second beam.
And 25 to hit on the third one, and then
All 3 hit.
19 points of damage on the
These
third
3 blasts,
man.
both of these dominators now looking basically at their last edges. You can see pieces of them sort of broken off and shattered and just heavily injured. All these kind of like red fibers, many of them torn and spiraling, and just looking low on energy. You can see that they're sort of almost becoming less aware and less tactical, almost becoming a bit more feral as they get more injured. Nova, end of turn.
That's end of turn for me.
Okay, at the end of your turn, the commander is going to use his legendary action to make a weapon attack, and seeing you pop out and blast him, he just turns in your direction, just like, die! And his eye lights up, and he's going to fire an eye laser at you, Nova Vija.
He's got eye lasers.
Try and take you out. It's a 27 to hit.
It will hit. But one thing, I have been using Tomb of Levistus wrong. Thank you very much to the kind person on Reddit who explained it to me. I can be hit by it to activate it, and then the first 150 hit points will absorb that first blast of damage.
Right. Okay.
So
but it also renders you out for a turn, right?
Invulnerable.
Like you're stuck in the thing for a turn. All right. Well, it would be 22 points of force damage. So you So how does this look? So we see the beam sort of flying towards Nova. This like red.
I'd like to think as it in slow motion as it comes towards Nova, Tiangong being the BFF they are, just immediately activates the kind of crystalline form that just shapes up. So the beam just hits as the shield goes up, and then Nova's just frozen, kind of in a throwing herself back almost.
Nice.
So,
Stasis.
Very, very cool.
Yes, in stasis.
Keelik and Kalar. That was at the end of Nova's turn.
Nice. So when does this healing effect, non-healing effect, disappear?
Start of the commander's turn, or when he's dead.
Right. And
So right
delaying
now,
an action
Ayla
will put me like
healed.
Yeah, delaying my turn will put me like way at the end, right? I'll just do I'm going to hold
you can't
action.
delay your turn. You could hold an action, but that's just
I'm
the
gonna hold
action.
an action.
You can't.
So I guess the moment Ayla is healable again, I want to hold an action to cast heal on her for 70 HP.
Okay, so you'll basically hold it as soon as you see those red crystals and vines break away from her body. You'll activate the heal spell.
Yeah. First time I used that one. 70.
Okay. Well,
Boom.
I used it
Last
so much in
chance.
Lightfall, it's the best.
yeah, heal so
It's just
good.
a high level spell. I don't have much of that.
At the end of Keelik's turn, Commander's going to use his last legendary action to command the Stalker to make one final attack against Ayla. He's just like, now do it! We must flee! So with advantage,
Hopefully.
25.
We'll die.
This is all halved because it's like all the sneak attack damage and weapon damage is halved against Ayla. So that's only going to be 23, so 11 points this time. Really not very good. But the arm blade sort of tries to get in a con save as well. Technically, I have to make you roll it because if you do roll less than a 5, it might fail. You never know.
9 plus 9, 18.
18 still succeeds. You again, the vines and things try to dig into your flesh, but it's so tough, so resilient, it just can't quite find purchase. Sentry.
Okie dokie.
You can see the commander, by the way, Sentry, is like turning, and like with Nova in the block of ice, with Ayla heavily injured, with Quill and you separated, he's turning like he's gonna start to run. Like you can see that he's about to flee.
Not on my watch, you son of a church. I'm gonna. it's an I don't know. It's an old thing. I'm gonna move up here, so I'm slightly ahead of them both.
Okay.
I'd like to cast Shield of Faith as a bonus action on Ayla. I can't heal her, but I can give her a +2 to her AC.
Do you have to touch her for Shield of Faith?
It's a 60-foot range.
Okay. Oh, great. Okay.
So I'll give her a +2 to AC, and then I'm just going to wail on this commander. He's not going anywhere.
Sure. So bonus action Shield of Faith on Ayla. 2 attacks from your action.
Rock and roll, buckaroo. 15 for the first one. I feel like that's not going to do it.
Ching! Clangs against he manages to bring up his sword to parry it, but you can see, you can read their emotions. Like nobody else can really see their facial expressions or, emotions from them, but you can feel this fear beginning to grow inside of it.
Come on, baby. 22.
Will hit.
Yes. Cool. All right, let's do...
Oh, God. She's turning into a Dominator.
She's going Hadar.
I'm going to do a level 4 Divine Smite on this guy, so that's going to be 68.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Sorry,
Hello?
can you? If you've burnt a spell slot with Shield of Fate.
Yes, because Divine Smite isn't casting a spell. It's spending a spell slot. It's not burning, it's not casting a spell. Yeah, trust me, dudes. Paladins are strong.
Man.
Yeah, Paladins are really good, dude.
Oh my God.
Keep it in mind for campaign 3, Tom. Keep it in mind for campaign 3.
I'm gonna.
32 plus 37 damage for that one.
Okay, well, I feel that it's only fitting, Sentinel Prime, that you describe how this goes down as he's out.
Man. Okay, so I think Sentry would pull her sword back, thrust it into the commander's matrix, and just say, "Such a disappointment," and then pull the sword out.
Overlord, I failed you. And you see the body kind of lands down. The matrix, like Her Majesty's Road, pierces through it, and you pull it back, and it cracks and breaks. But Sentry, you notice as the commander falls down, I don't think Ayla would have spotted this on the adept, but you definitely notice it. The matrix begins to crumble. Not because you've broken it, but something's almost like eating away, like an acid or a virus kind of breaking the crystalline sphere that was once this Guardian's matrix. It's breaking it down. This now red matrix is like crumbling into a powder. You can almost hear like a voice, but you're too distracted. And second, you technically have a second attack, Sentry. Oh no, you missed on the first one, didn't you? You did.
Yeah.
You did. That's you done.
Yeah. So I think I'll move over a little closer to Ayla, next to the stalker. Just provide support.
Do I heal now because he did?
You do, yeah. So as the commander's matrix begins to crumble, the Quill, you notice all the cysts, all the red vines begin to break away as well, and you can see, this is my chance, and your held action will go off.
Whoa, 70 HP. Whoa. What did you get down to, out of interest?
20.
Oh my God.
I think that's the lowest Ayla has ever
be the lowest so far.
No, I've been on 1 because the meteor strike, I got to 1 because I had to. Yeah, but other than that,
relentless rage. I think meteor swarm on a crashing airship. That's like fair, a special condition. We put that to the side. That's like not a normal fight. Yeah. This was
actual
the closest we got in
combat.
a straight up combat. Okay. Well, the heal goes off. The stalker is going to go next. Rhiannon, may you roll a d6 for me, please?
Okay. Here it comes.
This is probably this guy's only chance. No, the vents never recharge. So the stalker, having seen all of Ayla's wounds knit back together, it no longer has.
I'll just grin at him as well. I'll just grin.
The Stalker is going to disengage and then run away like a little shit. And just to annoy Tom, he runs up and along a wall. So he's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then you lose sight of him technically.
That kind of makes sense. Just to get away from us. I understand.
Yeah.
Long
used
gone.
his action to disengage, so can't dash. So yeah, that's his turn. Lucius.
I'm going to try and chase him. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Do I see him here? No, I don't.
You do not.
I'm going to cast Fly.
Okay.
Casting on myself, so I'm going to fly directly upwards. Actually, no, I'm going to diagonal for... Do I get that
Well,
extra?
you've action to cast Fly, and you've moved your 30 feet.
Do I then get the extra fly
That's an
amount?
interesting one. I guess because when you fly, you gain a flying speed of 60 feet, but you've already used your move action, so I would say no. It probably... if you want to retcon your turn and say you cast Fly first and then move, I'd say that's fine. But in the future, remember to cast Fly first, then use your move action. Because otherwise, you've already spent your movement, and then you cast Fly, and you'd have to wait till next turn to use the flying movement.
Okay, yeah, I think Lucius would have just started running and be like, I can't see. And
Okay, so yeah, I respect that.
So
I respect the meta play. So yeah, you're ready, like you can feel yourself ready to shoot up into the air, but you've kind of spent that time running and casting the spell on yourself, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more that the angle, this house corner here is kind of blocking your line of sight.
I'll just message
you can't
ring
quite see through.
saying, I can't see him. See if you can head down the other alleyway.
Ayla.
Can I jump onto this roof using my hammer? A
Yes.
jump charge.
And you spend
to
a
jump
charge,
onto
yeah.
the roof. Can I see him when I'm in the air at that height?
Well, there's a couple of things we have to check here. How high do you jump? The roof's maybe sort of like, I'd say like 20 feet up, but like you can jump, like you could jump up in a huge arc. The thing that's going to matter is the fall damage, like when you land, basically. Like
I
if you
can
jump
jump 25 feet and I want to jump onto the roof.
Okay, so
With
when
my
you jump up
jump.
onto the roof, yeah, you jump up on the roof. You don't see him immediately after that, not that jump, basically. You like jump up onto the top bit of the roof.
Can I keep running forward with my movement then?
Sure, yeah, you use your movement as you wish. It's kind of like a pointed triangle roof, so you have to like run up a little bit and then it will slope down.
Do I see him at this then?
Yeah, you see him directly below you. So you get into the alleyway and you can see that obviously he just didn't have enough speed to get much further away. So he's directly below you and it looks like he's pressed up against the wall, or this, I'd say it is pressed up against the wall, and it's looking to the alley on the opposite side like it's going to dash towards there.
Yeah, so I'm going to jump down in front of him and smack him in the face.
Yep.
Okay, you're going to take a little bit of fall damage. Do you want to make an acrobatics check to try and reduce it, or are you just not
Sure.
bothered? Okay.
Why not? That is a 30, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18.
Yeah, I'd say you half the damage from the fall. So it'd be 6 damage, halved is 3, and then you're raging, so half that again for 1 point of damage.
Oh.
Wow.
The stones, like the pavement cracks and breaks as you land, like smash.
Okay, I will attack. 15 plus 13 to hit.
Yep. Don't need to tell me that hits, you know.
11. 19 damage.
It's enough. So with one final whip of the hammer, you just send this thing sprawling, spinning in a circle as it smashes into the building next to you and just falls to the ground, unmoving, completely destroyed. Just non-functional.
So we see Ayla jump onto the roof, run over, and then the alleyway is
disappear.
just this. The alleyway is just him flying across it.
Sure,
You
like
just
if
see
Ayla wants
parts
to
of
knock
his
it to
body
the
flying
yeah.
into the alley
side,
and crashing
like-
against the wall.
Wow. Got him.
Then I'll just walk down the alley with my hammer on my shoulder back to the group.
Sure. Yeah. Lucius, for the point of thing, you fly up into the air, and that's like the last you see Ayla just walking back with this destroyed Dominator.
Oh, all right.
And then Nova unfreezes. That's it. You guys are out of combat, out of initiative.
I'm gonna fly around. Just
Sure. I mean, why not?
enjoy it.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, Lucius, I mean, once you were out of combat and time's kind of flowing, within, you guys have like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then you do begin to hear like, maybe 2 minutes, and guards are like closing in your position, and you can hear sort of like, maybe actually like a halfling man just sticks his head out of the doorway of the building that you've been climbing over, and he's like, "Is it over?"
It's safe.
We've had fighting.
It's safe. We've cleaned the streets.
Good. And just shuts it once again, and like you hear the latch and like a couple of keys being turned.
I think I'd messenger ring.
Sure.
Out of the earshot of the locals. What was that? Is there going to be more of it? The fact that it's on horizon, it's a little worrying.
Yeah, seems like Breeze has been busy since we last saw them. This is worrying.
Perhaps we should tell the guards what we did. I'm sure they've already seen us. And there's a bit of a cleanup.
Yeah. Such a waste.
They were too
They
far
would have been
gone.
good allies. They were strong.
Well, we know what happens to Hadar touch, though. Very difficult to bring them back once they're consumed. If that's what we think is happening here, I assume it is.
It's like Breeze somehow maybe convinced them, played to their fears, and brought them over to his side.
I think probably Breeze themselves was Hadar touched as well.
Yes, I wouldn't doubt that.
And was probably the puppet master, so to speak, of the event, so I guess we can't fully hold them entirely accountable, although they did some wrongs. They wanted to extend life, and it got out of hand.
Yeah. How's everybody feeling?
I started to recognize your messenger ring faces, especially yours, Lucius. Sentry is just blank all the time, so kind of hard to recognize that. What is happening?
We'll update you in a minute. We're going to just inform the guards what's happened here, and we'll debrief somewhere safe.
Great, perfect. Okay, good. Before we go though, Sentry, they're matrixes, matrixins. Is there anything that you can? What's happening to them? I mean, I know normally you store the guardian soul, but can anything be done with these ones?
I can ask Root, see if Root has any contact with them, but I feel like if Root were in contact with Hadar-touched guardians, that would be bad news. That would open them up to corruption in some way, right?
You can see, looking down, out of the 3, the commander's matrix is nearly gone. There's only a chunk of it remaining, really. It's rapidly disintegrated. The Stalker, the one that Ayla destroyed, its matrix is breaking down, but there's still maybe about half of it left. But you can see almost like rot eating away at it, just kind of breaking it down. It turns it into a powder, and then that powder just dissolves. It just becomes like air. It just turns to nothing. Does anybody like check it out more thoroughly, or are you just like looking at it from a distance at this point?
I'll go have a look.
Okay. So Sentry, when you kind of get closer and look, you sort of heard it before, but there is like a faint whispering. When you kind of reach out, almost maybe just kind of like looking at it, get closer, you do hear this kind of echoing voice. And you sense pain, you sense terrible fear, not of you, but of something else. You just hear this voice. They are mine. And you feel this horrid sort of scream, but scream isn't the right word. Like something spiritual, like a spirit crying out in agony. You can make a pretty good guess that Hadar is consuming the spirits of these guardians. Like the guardian spirit was still there in the Matrix. Corrupted as it was still there, but it's not anymore. Like as that Matrix is dissolving, the spirit itself is being consumed.
Can I commune with Prime?
Sure. Yeah, you can spend. Have you got the charges on the Prime Matrix to commune?
Let's see. Ah, shit! I don't think I do. We haven't long rested, have we?
No, we have not.
I don't have the charges. No.
You can always take a rest and then ask at a later date.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
I mean, if it's not a specific question, like you can just try and get a vibe or a feeling. Like you can ask me, the dungeon master, a question, but if you want to ask Root Prime specifically questions, then yeah, that you have to use the commune spell.
I was going to ask Root if there was a way to save them, but
well, I'm afraid that you're going to have to just make any decisions of your own now. There's no time to ask Root. If you'd like to try anything.
Let me see. I could do like a medicine check, maybe. Oh, I don't know though. Investigation.
Well, what are you trying to do? You tell me what you, as the character, would like to do, and then I'll figure out the mechanics of it. You know, if there are any.
I just want to see if there's any semblance of goodness left in Bashar. I want to see if there's a part of the commander that hasn't been corrupted that can be convinced otherwise.
Sure. To do that, you'd need to touch. You'd need to touch what remains of their matrix. You would need to try and connect to it to try and do that.
It's worth a shot. Let's do it.
Okay. You reach down, you grab it in your hand, and you feel that connection to the prime matrix go out. When you do so, normally when you touch a guardian's spirit in this way, when you reach out to call them to come into the matrix or to install them into a new body, you get a sense of many of their emotions, their regrets, their spirit, their courage. With this, you find fear of death, fear of not a death like a mortal knows it, but death as guardians do. This long, endless sleep or this maddening hunger. And that's what this guardian was afraid of, this maddening hunger, turning feral, becoming a thing that is not itself, this need to feed. And that has grown like a tumor. It has become twisted and shaped and warped, and this thing has been enriched with magical life. Like the ritual you saw Breeze doing where he tried to feed on the sorceress energies. This guardian has glutted on that sort of energy, draining magic wherever it could go.
I forgot you did that.
With like all things, there is a tactical mind. There is a warrior, a peerless warrior, a great fighter who fought not just in the wars for Aerois, but the spirit that fought here is a spirit that had fought for millennia past. This great warrior. And that's where that source of fear comes from. Knowing that this warrior was so strong that it had overcome so many battles, to simply fade away was terrifying. And that's where you feel this other hand, where you have got this spirit by one hand. You feel this red, calloused, clawed, just being gripping the other end of the spirit. You can't see it, you can't hear it, but you know it's there, and it is immensely powerful. I need you to make a charisma saving throw, please, Sentry.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, no.
It's alright, my charisma's plus 12.
What?
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah.
Although I did get a 16, so that was a bad roll.
So, the rest of you, as you're gripping for Sentry, I'll come to the rest of you actually in a minute. Sentry, as you're gripping the spirit, and you can feel the spirit, you can see that there's still something there. A lot of it's been destroyed, being killed, but there's something there. Maybe if you can save what remains inside the Prime Matrix, they can heal, they can know peace, and they can be reborn. They could be re-educated and given a second chance, maybe. And you try and pull it into the Matrix, and then you begin to see in the formless golden void of the spirit world of the Prime Matrix, this figure begins to take shape, almost in the twisted form of the Guardian that you're trying to save. This red humanoid head with just this grin. There's no eyes, no nose. It's just like a blank shaped head, but with this enormous, widespread, toothy maw. I see you. And it opens its mouth wider and wider, and it begins to swallow you. And it's beginning to like clamp onto the rest of you. To the rest of you, Sentry's holding onto this shard, and the shard glows bright red, and all of like Sentry's vines and like parts of her arm, you begin to see like this red infection, like a virus spreading through her. Her eyes kind of begin to flash, the Matrix begins to flash, and Sentry just collapses, like convulsing on the ground as this thing is beginning to spread. What do the four of you do?
Knock that out of her hand immediately.
Well, I did not
knock it out of her hand.
Make a strength check, Ayla. As soon as you touch this thing, racking pain spreads through your body. Like it's like your blood is on fire when you touch this thing, and it's fused into her hand. Like Sentry is gripping it with an unnatural
strength.
It's just straight strength. D20 plus strength. Yep.
25. I rolled an 18.
Okay, you managed to get two hands on it. Your blood feels like it's going to burn out of your body. Like you are in intense agony and pain. You managed to get two hands on it and grip it, and you're pulling it away, and you can see now that it's not Sentry holding it. This shard has like embedded these crystal-like vines into Sentry's own. You've pulled it free, but these vines are still connected, but it's taking all your strength, Ayla, to like pull it away from her hand, leaving these kind of tendrils exposed. Sentry, in your mind, I need you, like right now you're almost engulfed in darkness and red, and you begin to see visions. You see this kind of sprawling space, like crimson jagged crystal formations, forms almost like a hollow, like you're inside of a great geode. But these aren't crystals. It's bone covered with gore, and it's covered with shards of cysts, all shaped in this deep red crimson, and they're covered in mouths. Just everywhere you look, you see these like toothy maws on the walls, on the stalactites, on the stalagmites all around you. And at the center of it all, you see this almost sprawling palace. The palace is crafted from blood red rock, and it's shaped into a giant screaming mouth. And in the center of it all is a throne made of teeth and bones. And that humanoid shape, just this formless, androgynous, limbs too long, no eyes, no features, no muscular definition, just red energy, but with this huge mouth, is just sat in it. Can you make another charisma saving throw for me, please?
Come on. 7 plus 12.
19.
19?
19, but it is Hadar.
Your mind begins to become overwhelmed. You fears. You begin to imagine all of Sentry's worst possible fears. You feel parts of yourself, like you can feel things like memories being eaten away from you. You can feel beliefs being eaten away from you. You can feel your very essence, like everything that makes you Sentry is being consumed by this thing. You are unprotected. Like in this space, you realize this thing, it can do whatever it wants. This is its space, its realm. You are its pawn. You are its puppet. You can only hope that it gives you enough mercy to let you live, or just be consumed by it. And you almost lose for a moment. Quill, Lucius, Nova. Ayla is pulling this thing away from her hand, but it's taking everything Ayla has to just rip this thing as far as it can. But there's these tendrils, these thick crystalline tendrils. What do you guys do?
Get the tendrils! Get them! Get them quick!
Hang on! Way back when Sentry was going feral, I had the Wand of Guardian Recovery. I want to use that on Sentry and allow you to use a reaction to roll your saving throw again against an ongoing effect.
This is not a feral saving throw. The wand has absolutely no effect on this.
What?
This is the power of Hadar. This is not anything to do with Sentry going feral. Sentry can't go feral. This is Sentry's being attacked by Hadar right now.
Oh, but it says allow a Guardian to use a reaction against a saving throw.
Against going feral,
Different things, different things.
I'm going to throw that away.
Lucius.
I will also call out to cut the tendrils. I'm going to try and save her from the inside. And I'm going to touch Sentry's matrix, knowing that I have a connection with it.
Yeah, Lucius has done this before. You reach out, Lucius, you place your hands on the prime matrix, and you feel that connection of magic that you've had before, this primal magic within you that you've sensed in all of the guardians that you've encountered before, and you try and focus your mind. You feel... You've seen visions. When you did this before, you would have visions of that guardian's life. This is different. You're not seeing the past. You're seeing what's happening to Sentry now as you kind of reach out. But it's like you're seeing it through this kind of red glass. You're almost like banging on it, and you can see Sentry just stood in this middle of this place, and you begin to see that same space, that domain that she was in, these crystalline red mouths forming this cavern, this throne, this temple built around this thing, and you can't see it, but you can feel this ancient, powerful, godlike thing, and it is eating Sentry. You bang on the glass. What's the plan here? Like, what do you want to do? You've entered this space, you've got this connection, but you're on it's like you're on the outside, of watching this happen.
I've got an 8th level here.
Yeah. What do you want to use it with?
I think I might try and smash my way in the most powerful way that I know, and that is prismatic spray.
Well, this is a kind of perfect spell, I think, because this is color magic. This is Lucius's magic.
Yeah. So I'm going to try that at 8th level.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about casting the damage and stuff of the spell. The red, it's blocking other light. You have that magic to create color, to bend light. You focus the spell, and just this column, this cone of magic erupts. Your eyes begin to... You've had this before. The others don't see it. You don't see it. But to us, the audience, we see Lucius's eyes, where they're blue and orange, we begin to see kind of like fractures of other colors. They begin to shift almost like prisms as we see other shades, reds, purple, black. We see all the different kind of shades of color beginning to come in. This column blasts against the glass, just all sorts of energy, cold, radiant, fire, necrotic, and it begins to crack and break. But as soon as it does, it smashes inwards, and you feel this overwhelming strength just kind of billow over you. And the same thing as Sentry, you begin to feel your very essence being consumed immediately as you're exposed to this place that you've broken your way into, that you've forced your way into, this godlike realm. Everything that is Lucius, you almost feel it being pulled out of you. You see this humanoid figure. You see Hadar, this humanoid shape with this eternal mouth that has consumed gods and worlds and universes and has consumed civilizations, and you are next. Nova.
So can I see physically like tendrils reaching out to Sentry?
Imagine like from her hand, Ayla's pulled this shard away, and there are these like thick kind of like vines, but they're made of crystal, and they've like embedded into Sentry's hand, and then you can see this infection beginning to spread all up her arm. Almost one entire arm is covered now.
I don't know if this would work. I think it's down to DM's discretion. I have this idea where I want to cast Arcane Gate and create a portal that cuts between Sentry and the tendrils.
Either side.
And then, either side. So basically, it almost blocks between it. But I don't know if it's down to you, really. I'm going to put the text in Roll20 so you can read it.
No, don't worry about the text. I know the spell. I know Arcane Gate. It's stuff like this. The wording of the spell, it doesn't matter. The intent here is that you are going to use your portal magic, let's call it that, like this idea that Nova can create holes in space to try and cut the vines by separating their literal fabric of reality from each other.
An ambitious plan, Nova Vija. This will require all of our available power. We will need you to support us in this matter.
There is no question. Do it.
You bring Tiangong up high and almost cut like the space that you want to create, and you see this kind of blue-black tear forming like a portal. When it reaches the crystal vines, they begin to kind of almost splinter, but they're resisting, like they're trying to fend off the tear in the fabric of reality itself. Tiangong glows blue as bright as it can, and you begin to feel yourself, Nova, like literally on your feet, wavering. Can you make a con save for me, please?
Con save. Okay. 17, 18, 19, 20.
You just, by the way, DC 20, managed to keep your awareness. Like you managed to keep your conscious as Tiangong sucks every amount of magical power it can out of you, and you watch as these red vines are cut in twain by the portal. The other side of the portal, just these fragments of crystal vines part. As soon as that's cut, Lucius and Sentry, you feel yourselves, that whole thing that you've seen just disappears in an instant, and you are awake back in the material world. Ayla, the chunk goes flying out of your hands as you are thrown backwards. As soon as the vines are separated, it just evaporates. As soon as it becomes exposed to air, as soon as those vines aren't connected to Sentry, it just...
I think Sentry's laying on the ground, right? I think after that, Sentry would roll on her side, curl up on a ball, and she would cry. Like, I don't think has she cried? But she would be sobbing as if like you've never heard. Just big chesty sobs.
I think Lucius would be fallen and just exhausted, I think, at the moment.
Yes.
Just staring upwards.
Yeah, all of you except Quill, because Ayla, this was like you've never had a test of strength like that before. It was like fighting the strongest thing you can imagine, like trying to pull that gem away took your muscles are just on fire. Nova, like you feel like you're going to pass out from Tiangong just taking everything it could. Lucius and Sentry obviously experienced this incredibly mind-shattering, horrific thing. Quill, you're just looking at your friends and they are out,
I'm also just snapping this wand in half. So the vines on her arm, they've also dissolved and disappeared away, right?
Yes, all of that red material is beginning to kind of burn and evaporate and disappear. Very much like the kind of wounds on Ayla and the matrices themselves when they began to dissolve. Returning Sentry's arm is going back to normal.
Ayla would probably just crawl over to her, pick up the arm, and be examining it, making sure every last spot of red leaves Sentry's arm.
Sure.
God damn.
You saw him, didn't you? You saw him.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. It was awful.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know what I was. I was stupid.
Sentry,
It's not
Sorry.
stupid.
you did save that spirit. Can feel
Do I
it.
know that? Did I feel
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, you feel it.
I saved him.
You did what you had to. That's what
I
makes you
nearly
you.
killed all of you. Every single one. I nearly lost them. Thank you. Thanks.
Saving a guardian who just beat our asses is the most Sentry thing I think I've ever heard of. So, you know, good for you, Sentry.
That's why you're the leader.
You're back.
That's why you're their leader.
We can't let them win. We can't let them keep taking and taking. It's not fair. No one deserves this.
Well, we know what our next
Gotta
step
get to the
is.
City of Glass
City of
immediately,
Glass.
as soon
Yeah.
as possible.
Do you want me to find out where this? I'm not going to call him by his dumb new name. Do you want me to find out where Breeze is?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And if you
I'd like
his
to-
mother's name.
I'd like to scry on Breeze, Overlord Veracitor, please.
Okay. I have to make a saving throw, I believe, for scrying, do I not?
You do. So, because I've met him. Well,
Yes.
I've met Breeze. Have I met Overlord
it counts.
Veracitor?
You are familiar with the target, I would say.
Okay, so -5 because I'm familiar. I don't have any possessions from him, I don't believe, or anything like that. But it's a Wisdom 21 with a -5 to their roll.
-5. Kind of wish I had Overlord Veracitor's stats ready to go, but I'll make a good guess at what his
How
wisdom would be.
wise
20, 20,
is
20,
Hadar?
20.
I'm going to roll this one to myself. I'm not going to show you guys this one.
Aw,
Okay.
how rude.
So, and this is through the storm eye, yes?
It is.
We see Quill. Your vision turns cloudy, as it does. We see the crack of lightning. Like before, the mist is not as clear as it has been before, but the spell still functions. It is just scrying. You're not trying to see the past or the future, you are trying to view the present, and that, it seems, the eye can do no problem. You focus in, and you see... it's difficult because it's only a certain area around him.
Yeah.
You don't recognize Breeze to the Guardian that you had seen before. Instead, you see this 9-foot tall, skeletal, very much like these Dominators were, red matrix, red eyes, now sort of 6 of them, kind of all placed around the head. A crown, almost like these curved horns, like a crown shaping up. A giant staff in one hand, sat... I think you would recognize it's some sort of airship. Clearly on some sort of airship. But around him, you see maybe a dozen more of those Dominators that you just fought against. All different types, but you see about a dozen of them. All kneeling as if to a king. And he just seems to look around.
Soon, we will have many brothers and sisters to add to our new glorious empire. My lord Hadar has informed me that some of our brothers and sisters have failed in their task. But a blow has been delivered to the pretender, to the false prime. We will have victory, my brothers. We will rule over the barren worlds left by our mighty lord, and we will conquer again and again until all is left but rock and iron. And I see you, little spy.
Yeah, fuck. Oh, good.
This kicks so much ass. Holy shit.
An airship surrounded by more of these, guardians. He's building an army, and he's calling you the false prime sentry. We need to get to the City of Glass as soon as we can. That goes without saying. But he's on an airship, probably headed there now.
Then we'll beat him to it.
Not to play out everything, but a patrol of guards. You know, this is all taken a couple of minutes at best. You know, you guys have arrived super. You know, this battle, and then even the scene, like everything with Sentry, has maybe taken 2 minutes. Guards eventually arrive. They do recognize you. Nobody's going to suspect you. They interview the people in the houses who all claim that you were attacked and you fought off these horrible creatures that used poison gas and all of this kind of stuff. The guards seem completely dumbfounded at how these guys got into the city. Nobody seems to know how. But yeah, they help. They'll dispose of the bodies if you want them to, or they ask you if they probably ask Sentry, like, what do you want us to do? Like, we don't really know what to do with these bodies. Are they?
They're dangerous material. It's best you dispose of them somewhere
destroy
where no
them
one
then.
can get to them.
We'll have them destroyed, Sentinel Prime. We'll speak with the mages in the Citadel, and I'm sure they can find a way to dispose of them thoroughly. Do we have... Storm Chasers, my apologies. We do have some medics with some minor healing capabilities, but I honestly think that they'll pale in comparison to your own. If you do want us, we can have medics here, but I'd almost rather see to the citizenry, make sure that there are no injuries, or that we almost want to check to make sure that these people haven't hurt anyone else. We don't know if they just attacked you or if they've done anything else in the city.
There's no need. We'll take care of ourselves. Thank you for the offer, though. Just
right.
Be sure everyone in the area is safe.
Yes, we will.
It was
Make sure
also
you.
most likely a personal attack, just for reference. They were looking for us specifically.
We'll still have a look through, see if there are any reports of missing people or any injuries or battles elsewhere. But make sure that you check in with Commander Rain. Make sure that if we do find anything, we'll let Commander Rain know, and then they can pass it along to you. Go back. We can have you. Do you want an escort back to the Citadel?
No. We'll make
All
our
right.
way back.
Good luck, Storm Chasers. Thank you for dealing with these. From the looks of your own injuries, I don't think any of the Horizon Guards would have been much use against these foes.
I wouldn't say that.
We know our limits, Mr. Elanasto. We can fight soldiers, sure. These things, and against people like you, we know our limits. They just kind of half salute, not in like a you're a military person, but like a gesture of sort of like, hey, we respect you kind of thing. And then they'll leave you to it.
Okay.
And leave you guys to head back to the Citadel.
Damn.
For a long rest, I would assume.
Yeah.
Well, please.
I think
I'd like
as
that,
they,
yeah.
Yeah. As they go, Nova's like, can someone carry me when they're out of sight? I can't feel my legs.
Yeah, just hop
She's
on,
got jelly
piggyback.
legs.
Piggyback.
Can I lay on hands, you two? Poof, just like while you're together. Pump some
I'd like to
heels
think
into
like
you two.
you lay on hands as I'm trying to get on Ayla's back, and you give me like a little boosty on her back.
There we go. I'll give you guys 20 each.
Aww.
Nice.
Lovely.
There we go. Thank you again, everyone.
Rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Citadel.
All right. Well, long rest. You guys make it back. There are no further incidents. I think Valor will obviously be very concerned. We'll go cover that if there's any conversations you want to have there. But other than that, that seems like a pretty great place to take a little 5-minute breaky, and then we'll come back.
Yep. Get this city moving. Head straight to the City of Glass.
Yes, that will definitely be happening.
Yeah.
I will say that probably when you get back, Rain or somebody, an aide, will tell you that in the morning, Danica will be making a proclamation to the city, and then she will begin transporting the city to Giselle in the morning.
Awesome.
So
Don't touch
that'll be
the
one
red
of the first
stuff.
things we do.
Yeah.
I mean, do touch the red stuff because
Creates
saved,
cool
you know,
moments.
It's fun.
you did the most paladin thing you could, which is I know that this is an obvious danger. I have to try and save this person, even though they tried to kill me. Incredible paladin play. Good job. But also, fucking cool lore, though, isn't it? Fucking cool bit, though.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
True. Yeah.
I could listen
Hell
to
yeah.
that description forever. Yeah.
Just eating it.
I'm like, tell me more about this.
Very good.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, num 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 indeed. That's very much what this, you know, Hadar's all
Consume
about.
more.
Num 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 num
Yes,
mini mouths.
Consume.
Yeah.
have we all seen Hadar now? I mean, I saw him at a very great distance through the storm eye, but
I think I saw him before,
I don't think Ayla has.
back when Quill died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also say that anything that Quillanova saw pales in comparison to what Lucius
Well,
and
yeah.
Sentry just did.
yeah.
Like, I don't think you guys are like knowledgeable enough about the planes, but maybe if you talk to Nova and Nova makes some checks, she might be able to glean some insight into what you guys specifically saw. But yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah, we'll definitely.
Direct
do that.
connection. Direct
Yeah.
connection.
We're in the Nope plane.
Close that. Goodbye.
Far Realm's not a place mortals want to go, generally. Pretty bad.
And that was in you. Ugh.
That was
And then
all
you
up
were
inside
in
you.
me.
And
It's a Russian doll.
Let's not say that.
save that for the after hours horror.
Yeah. Right, let's take a
Not
5-minute
like that.
breaky. Tom's going to read out some messages.
Not
I'm
like
gonna cool down.
that.
Father's Day is just around the corner, and nothing says, I love you, Dad, more than a world-class trimmer for his own natural 20s. You heard that right. The Lawnmower 3.0 from Manscaped is the best body hair trimmer on the market. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels, and you can get 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com and using code HIGHROLLERS. Have you ever seen a nose bush sticking out of your dad's nose? Well, included in this new package is the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, which is waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual blade system. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com with code HIGHROLLERS. And don't forget to show your dad some love this Father's Day with his own little body trimmer. Isn't that just a wonderful gift from Manscaped?
It's me, your boy, reading some donations. But before I do that, I just wanted to say a big thank you to our Patreon, which is still ongoing, still getting early access to episodes. Figured I'd let you know that we've used some of your support to get everyone some extra lights. So if I look a little bit nicer today
And
than before.
mics and lights.
Well, the
Lights,
mics we
lights.
mentioned last time, but this time we got some new lights.
Guys are
So we've
making
got
us
some level
better.
lighting on me. Everything is getting better. And we've got some ideas of future things we want to just make the show better for everybody involved. And it's all thanks to Patreon.
Thanks, guys.
More
so
worms,
thank you very
right?
much.
What, more worms?
Or worms.
No. So these are donations from last week because we never had a chance to read them. So they might be a little bit out of date, but they'll be in relation to the first few rounds of combat from the last episode. We had a quarter hundo from Bygang Phoenix, and they say, Clear Skies from Arizona started watching High Rollers a year ago and finally leaving VOD Squad to join the Live Hive. What a bad episode to do so. Power cut. Question, can we get some car decals added to the shop? Maybe. I'd love to advertise y'all while cruising the desert. Thanks and much love to y'all. Maybe. Maybe. We had a half hundo. Wow, from Crispy. And there was no message. Thank you very much, Crispy. And another half hundo from Saramana and Sari's hubby. We want to thank Honky Conky, Crispy, and everyone else for their generosity, kindness, and love. This community has been such a godsend. This is such a small way to say how much everyone is appreciated. We are extremely grateful. Well, there you go. Honky Conky, Crispy, and everyone else from Saramana. And thank you very much, Saramana and hubby. X-Star X with a quarter hundo. Hi, rollers. I've been watching Lightfall and Aerois for almost 2 years now. I finally caught up. Welcome. Unfortunately, I won't be able to hang live for a bit since I have work, but I'll enjoy VOD Squad for now. Love you all a lot, and thank you. Thank you very much, X-Star. Ghost in Progress with a half hundo. Oh my god, that's big numbers going on here. Heyo! I've been on VOD Squad for like 2 months. I'm so happy to be back now. Take my money, you beautiful peeps. Thank you very much, and welcome back, Ghost in Progress. Oh man bro, thank you for your donation. Ollie has donated $30 dues, and they say, hi, just wanted to say thank you for keeping me sane. I have A-level mocks soon, and it's somewhat stressful, and watching and listening to you guys helps make it all less painful. You guys are great. Thanks for everything you do. Believe in you, Ollie. You can do it. King. Rogue Pantaloons has donated with thanks, guys, so much for being an inspiration to me and my games. Been watching since episode 3 of Lightfall. Anyway, on to Tom's tantalizing tongue twisters. The six sheep's sick. The six. No. Thank you, Rogue Pantaloons. That Norwegian guy. Sorry for the cruel "you're okay" joke last week, Tom. It's okay. I just did it for the emotions from everyone else. I knew you had my back. You took it like a champ. I'm an eternal VOD guy because of my own campaign, so can't watch live. I hope you all have had an amazing session and great evening. Thank you very much. And there's still a few donations from last week that I still need to get through, but they will have to be at the end of the episode. Thank you very much. I'll be back in a sec. See ya.
So did Tommy read out anything from
Nope.
Mod Room?
There you go.
Was that a yes?
It was a nope.
It was a nope. Okay.
Clearly a nope.
Let me scroll on down. There was a bunch of ones from last week that we didn't get to because of the issues. So last week we had lots of gifty subs from Jaylee5397, D Miller, 1841, Ghost in Progress, Crispy, Zonwick, Saramana, Mark's Left Nut, Rainmoon001, and S Mitchell86. Thank you very much. We had bits from Trumpole, Anarchista, Olarenve. Did a dono on Yogs, no message. Thank you very much. That was all last week that we didn't read out. Thank you very much. This week, Dork Love Sports, Being Wolfie, Nerashed, Narashid, I never know how to pronounce it. I, Danny Ken, and Anonymous, thank you very much. Trumpole, Inflatable Cat, High as Fuck for 20! And Superpunk86, thank you very much for your bits as well. You are the guys, you guys are the best. Thank you so much for the wonderful content. Thank you very much. Olarenve, with a no message over on Yogs with a donor as well. Thank you very much. And a raid from the lovely Zoef on Yogs for us. Thank you very much. That's it. Oh boy. Hey, how are we feeling? How are we feeling, Ree? You got biscuits? You all right?
I'm all
Time
right.
for some
yeah.
comfort snacks.
Got some shortbread on the go.
Yeah, a bit of shortbread. Keep that energy up. How's everyone else doing?
Yeah.
Trot?
You know what? I couldn't handle that emotional moment without my favorite digital tool set, D&D Beyond. Thank you. I wouldn't have thought to use prismatic spray, but it was so easily accessible.
It's just right there.
It's just in the spell list, and I knew exactly how many spell slots I had left that weren't scrawled out in pencil and rubbed over multiple times on a paper sheet. Exactly. So thank you.
Gross.
D&D Beyond. Check it out. Sweet.
Well
there
done.
it is.
Kim, we all right? You look like you're just having a moment.
Well, I have this thing where, like, when I like tear up, like I was getting a bit emotional because Ree was emotional, so I was getting a bit emotional. But what happens is like it puts eye makeup in my eye, and then that triggers a bigger reaction because I'm a bit allergic to my eye makeup. So it's half me crying from emotion and half me crying from like, ow, this really hurts. Like I have something quite painful in my eye.
Tricky to be
So I
dead
had
on
to go
that
wash
side.
it all off.
Yeah. Makeup's dumb. I need to stop wearing makeup to these streams. Like, I'm just crying.
Don't cry for it.
Allergicing at every stream.
Don't cry.
Yeah, just don't cry. Just don't cry. If I could turn that part off of me and be Chris Trott, I would.
You don't want to be this.
No.
You don't want this.
Katie,
Not like this.
did you think, I got you down to 20 HP and I was like, oh, you thought that was the real danger? Nah. Now it's the bit after. That's the scary bit.
So
Well,
I was fine. I'm not feeling well in general today, so that was like
All right.
my brain is
Brain.
gonna explode.
Go on,
Out
Kim.
of curiosity, if I'd failed my con save, what would have happened?
You'll never know.
Would
Didn't happen, did it?
Lucius be lost?
It happens. There's no point thinking about it. Right. Tom,
Hadar
we all good?
Sentry.
Yep, all good.
Starbane Nova and Hadar Sentry. Let's do it.
Living the dream. No,
That was in the evening, so by the time you guys get back and have a long rest, it is a brand new day in the Citadel. Things are busy in the Citadel of the Reborn. There are soldiers running to and fro, seem to be carrying lots of messages. Things are happening, although you're not in the chain of command, so you don't exactly know what's going on. Vala, having kind of checked on you last night, but seeing you all being exhausted and things, didn't probe too deeply. She just seems to have been spending the evening. You can see that like the main desk in your little study that you have, like this kind of like apartment that you've been given in the Citadel, these barracks, the main desk has been covered with lots of books that have been taken from somewhere. She has all sorts of diagrams and like parchments where she's writing notes and things like that, and she seems to be working on something. Maximilian has refused like a bed and has basically put like some things on the floor to sleep by the desk, and that is just but he hasn't been eating. He seems to be sort of not refusing to eat, but is not properly eating or anything like that, and looks kind of a bit worn out and disheveled. And yeah, Vala, sort of when you do all eventually come to, if there's any particular characters that want to sort of just not emerge for a while, do say. But Vala will check in with you all when you all do appear. All right. So Lucius is just like, nope, not coming out today.
I think Lucius had some nightmares. Without getting too harrowing, he's had a lot of bad stuff. And this is just adding to that pile of things. The emptiness and the seeing Sentry almost get consumed. Just another thing to add to the list of horrible stuff.
It's interesting because you say seeing Sentry almost get consumed. I mean, it was the same. As soon as Lucius broke through that glass and like entered into that space, it was the same. But I'm guessing Lucius is more concerned with like seeing Sentry, right? Like it seems to be that he cares more about Sentry.
That was the immediate concern. Yeah. But yeah, there was that wave of power, right, that just overwhelmed as soon as he smashed the glass into that plane. It would also tie in. I think obviously this is talking meta right now. None of you guys know exactly what Lucius is thinking, but you can
tell us for the audience.
I think there's a level of the idea of Hadar that seems on a very base level to Lucius that it's an option.
Okay. Yeah.
Only because it's like the fight has been so hard.
Yeah. Giving up is easy, right?
Nothingness is what's left,
Yeah. It'd be easier,
it's something that
wouldn't
he
it?
shuts down immediately, but
Yeah. Sure.
I imagine
It
that's
appears.
something that Hadar could fester upon.
Well, I mean, there's no direct connection, but that thought's there for Lucius now, and maybe there will be other things that fuel it or feed it or whatever. But I leave that in your capable role-playing hands, Chris Trott, if you want to let that thought fester. But
Also, Lucius has been in a surprising amount of mouths, especially when it comes to Hadar.
Truth.
maybe we should just coat you in something, so that it's, when you get that fingernail stuff that you chew your fingernails and it's really
stop
bitter.
you biting your nails. Yeah, just put Lucius in that.
Like a
They
Nintendo
just spit
Switch
it back
game.
out again.
Definitely.
Yeah,
how
like
it
a Nintendo
works.
Switch game.
Definitely.
Nah,
how it
that doesn't
works.
stop me.
Yeah, nothing can stop me biting my nails. So, apart from Lucius, anybody else who emerges, Valor sort of gives you a moment. It's like, I didn't want to ask, but I mean, there was something different when you came back last night. I've heard some of the guards talking about you fighting some guardians, but I didn't feel like that would be enough to affect you the way that it did. Is everything all right?
I think Sentry would be like pottering around, like in the kitchen, like cleaning, trying to like keep busy.
Just doing
like,
anything.
Yeah, just like, everything's fine, everything's okay. We just, you.
Squeak, squeak, squeak. Squeak, 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 cleaning the plates.
Get clean.
I think
Yes.
it's safe to say, Vala, it's I'm like whispering this so everyone like Sentry and obviously Lucius can't hear it. Like it's delicate, and I think we need the time to
Yes,
figure
of
out
course.
exactly what happened back there.
Yeah, of course. But just if any of you, if there's anything I could do to help, just say, I'm sorry I wasn't there to help you.
Vala, you kind of actually did help us. I did something that was inspired by you. I don't know how. It came to me, and I just copied you to the best I could, and it helped.
Well, that's a comforting thought, considering how much so much of everything I've been learning. I just remember basing it off things that I saw all of you do, or thought of what you might do, and things like that, or things that just come naturally. But if there's anything I can do to help, just say. Danica still won't let Max and I really wander about, but she's been kind enough to give me a lot of books and things to work through on the Titans and the issue there. I'm not sure how much good it's going to be doing. I think it's going to be something I need to explore more with magic, but it's still good to know.
Okay. I mean, I feel like I'm still treating you like a child. Please just interrupt me whenever. If I am treating you like you're just too young to deal with these things, clearly you're not. You've grown so much in a surprisingly short time frame.
Yeah, it's weird. It's because you would think that I would still feel young because it hasn't been that much time, but there's something the way that the magic's working. I feel not that I've got new memories, but like it's like my mind's older. There's something to do with the way that this magic is affecting me. Something as my power's growing, it's like I'm becoming someone else. Maybe that doesn't make sense, but I don't know. It's hard to explain.
Either way,
I'm still
you're older
young.
than me.
I'm just not little. Think of it that way.
Yeah, well, yeah. You're older than me, so I guess...
That's true. That's true.
If you have any questions, and you deserve all the answers, it's just figuring out how to explain it, really.
I think out of all of us, I think my answers will come in time. I think that as my power's growing and as we help Siaska, I think that she's going to have a lot of the answers to my questions.
Okay. Well, as long as you're being made as comfortable as you can be here so that you can focus on these things, guide us in the right directions, that's the best we can do, I think. I hope.
Yes, well. And she just sort of nods. She looks over at in Max's direction, then looks back at you, Quill, and sort of again whispers under her breath, like, I'm worried about him. He's not eating. I don't know how to help him. He treats me too differently to everyone else.
I mean, we've tried getting him on side. We've tried speaking. I don't know I don't know what I can do to help him. I don't know what we can do. I don't want to put the responsibility on your shoulders, but
I don't either. To me, with me, he's like, he acts so subservient. If I tell him to eat, he'll eat. I don't want to have to constantly be telling him just to do these basic things. It's like he's just given up on himself. He's just trying to be a tool now. That's all he wants to be. Still, think about it, if you can.
I will. Sentry?
Yes?
Sentry?
Would you like a coffee? What would you like? Anything?
I would love one.
Laundry? Okay.
No laundry needed. Just, you're okay, right?
Yes. I'm quite all right. Yes.
Goddamn unmoving face.
That was convincing. Very convincing.
No convincing needed. I don't know what you mean by that. So coffee, yes? Anyone else?
Sandra, would it make you feel better if we all had coffee right now?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, please.
we'll all have coffee. Yep.
Incredible. Yes, lovely. Okay, I'll get on that. Starts making coffee,
Just
making a lot of noise.
Just take the coffee. Yeah.
Okay, I will just take the coffee.
I mean, does Lucius ever make an appearance, or is this like
he'll come
he's
out
just-
eventually. He's not going to
Eventually. Okay.
overstep. Just like an hour or so late.
Not gonna
Just kind of takes that time.
discard the character. He's never coming out of his room.
Well, no, but you know,
the
he
door.
might just be like, "No, I'm done. I'm done for the day. Wait me when we get to City of
Nah,
Glass." you know,
he won't necessarily. He understands the party and that he's going to worry them too much if he stays in bed for too long. So he'll keep up appearances and come out looking fine,
Okay.
looking fresh.
makes sense. Doing his best.
Yeah.
I think
At some point in
Ayla
the morning.
might, if
Go on.
sorry, if she overhears them talking about Max not eating, she might just grab a bit of food, go over to him, and just hold it out and just stare at him.
He just kind of looks up. His bag's under his eyes. He looks a bit tired. He's just like, "I'm fine, thank you."
How are you going to protect her if you can't protect yourself? You're going to be too weak.
I'm not too weak. I have eaten what I need. I don't need you
No.
to tell me how to do my job. He just
I
sort
want
of
you
like
to
looks
do
down
your
at the
job
ground.
well, because your job is looking after Vala, and I care about her. So please, eat something.
He doesn't take the food, but he doesn't object if you like place it near him or like next to him or anything like that. He just sort of continues like looking in Vala's direction.
And if you want to talk, Max, remember, not me. And then I'll walk away.
Just sort of watches you go, kind of casts like an eye at you, raises an eyebrow like, is this some sort of trick? Is this some sort of game to make me talk to you? I won't play it. And then just goes back to sort of being gloomy as he does. At some point during the morning, Rain comes and finds you, kind of very smartly dressed, knocks on the door. Storm Chasers, Danica has requested your presence. She is going to make a speech to the city, and then we're going to get things underway.
Very well.
Perfect.
Okay.
Come with me. She'd like you to be there. And Rain will kind of snap to, military uniform press, breastplate on, and will lead you to that balcony that she was at before, where she looks out onto horizon. And when you arrive and look down, you can see the streets are filled. Like, they are filled from tiers all the way down. People are out, and you can see, looking up, you can see various mages are replicating, like, down into the streets. They are conjuring illusions of Danica that basically like mirroring what she's doing and speaking. So they're like conjuring these images, like relaying it between each other to kind of pass the message down, creating like these platforms. When you arrive out onto the balcony, Danica nods and smiles, Storm Chasers, I heard about some sort of conflict in the streets last night. I'm so sorry that you had to deal with that, but for a moment, I just need you. I need you to look as powerful and as strong as you can do. I need to speak with the people and let them know.
Oh, wait, you're not putting us in front of all of those people, are you?
Yes, I need to see you standing beside me.
I didn't get laundry done. I only asked for coffee this morning.
They won't be able to see you that detailed from up here. They just need to see you're present.
I cast Enlarge.
She looks up at Super Big Sentry and she's like, excellent choice, Sentinel Prime. And she just smiles like, very good idea.
Thank you.
And she just gestures forward, and then she stands, and she's wearing like much more regal wear this time. You've seen Danica kind of wearing more casual clothes when she comes to speak with you, dressing like very down, like almost like in like sweater pants and stuff like that. Like she kind of just hangs out in like a row, like not like a dressing gown, but she just dresses very casually around you. But here it's like full golden sort of collar, mantle, long flaming dress. Her dress has got the same glamour weave that Lucius has, but this one creates like rolling flames coming off of her shoulders and down her dress. Her hair has been styled to be like long waves, and her eyes are actually, you can see, are glowing. They're almost glowing red. And she moves up to the balcony, and the whole city just begins to cheer for her. As soon as she appears, you become aware that this city loves Danica. They look up to her immensely. And she looks down. Good people of Horizon, you have no doubt heard the proclamation by Callus Starbane. And by now, you know my stance on his offer of peace. Champions of Aerois, she gestures to all of you, have shown me proof that his beliefs are not just misguided, but will bring about a greater doom than can be imagined. When Callus was defeated and our city was set free into the winds, it was fear and desperation that drove the High Elves mad and turned them against their people they had sworn to protect. They made deals with beings they did not understand, and we paid the price in blood. I will not decide my future or yours because I am afraid or because I am desperate. Callus thinks us a city to be conquered. Let him meet the same fate as those who have tried to conquer us before. We will not go quietly on currents or paths set for us. We are Horizon. We are the future. We are the dawn. We are the dusk. I will light a new future for us. And it begins today as we blaze a trail into the unknown with all the fury of a flame. Launch the Horizon engine. And she steps back, and this magical voice is projected amongst the city.
All citizens, Horizon is preparing to activate Sky City engines. Proceed to civilian shelters or militia posts immediately.
You begin to hear like a murmur and things like that around. And then on this great platform that overlooks the city of Horizon, these golden discs set into the floor kind of spin open like irises, and these two great sort of control orbs emerge out. Danica places one hand into one hand into the other, and then she ignites like an inferno. Magical flame just erupts from her, and it begins channeling down into these columns. You begin to hear the rumbling of stone. When you look, the great docks that the airships are normally attached to begin to split apart with golden cogs and gears, and these great kind of brass cylinders begin to emerge from either side of them, hundreds of them along one side. Flame begins to erupt from them, and for the first time, Horizon deviates from the course it's on. and begins to push in a new direction. The citizens are they're cheering, they're like screaming, they don't know what's going on. Guards are like gesturing to them. Many of them are rushing and putting on militia uniforms and things like that as they begin to rush to posts in position. And Horizon is now on its way.
Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's so cool.
Holy crap. Hell yeah.
Oh, you've got an airship. That's cute. Try it. Try flying.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
all
awesome.
my
Oh my God.
Final Fantasy VIII fantasies coming to life here.
Oh yeah, big Balam Garden energy. For anybody who's watching at home, big Macross energy as well is very much a big influence here. Rain comes over whilst Danica is busy. I will be coordinating efforts. Our cartographers and Aarakocra messengers believe it will take us about 3 days to reach Giselle, based on some calculations. This is Horizon's first flight. We are not sure if it's going to go exactly as we planned. We have Magitech engineers, we have enchanters working non-stop to monitor the Sky City engines. We estimate about 3 days until we arrive near Giselle. We will be sending out forward scouts with some of our airships, our smaller, lighter airships. Horizon is not quite as fast as some of the fastest vessels. We'll be using those to scout out the situation. Once we arrive, we will be able to let you know. Until then, the city will remain on high alert. We will keep civilians in shelters. Militias will be trained to use all sorts of weapons. We have the turrets and city defenses prepared. But we would ask that you be a part of all of this, that you are on hand if we need you. But obviously, you are still free to go about the city as you wish.
Of course, happy to help wherever.
Yeah, I mean, we need to figure out, 3 days' time, give or take. We need to figure out what our actual plan of attack is. How do we get into the City of Glass? How do we get everything out?
That's what I think that we need the scouts to analyze. We know that Giselle, the Sanzian Commonwealth, the current ruling power of Giselle, they are infamous for their shipwrights. They have many airships under their command. We already believe that they are blockading their territory with these airships, but if they see the City of Glass as a tactical objective, they may send more to it. If they don't, we may be able to bring Horizon close enough to send you down in a transport skiff. You may be able to do whatever you need to do and then either evacuate the Guardians here or go about however we need to. If you have any ideas, I'm welcome to hear them, Keelek.
Oh, well, not just yet. Almost exactly what you just said was my idea. But yeah, we just need more information. The forward scouts.
Well, as an oracle of Hesper, if you can lend us any magical aid in this, it would be appreciated. The sooner we know, the sooner we can prepare.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone plans for the next 3 days?
Yes.
One thing that we probably need for two of us is some anti-scrying magic or anti-detection magic. And I'm looking
I did
at
receive.
Lucius.
We've begun making preparations to have your quarters warded, but this does take some time. In terms of individual protections, there may be some independent traders in the city that may sell scrolls or things like that of spells that protect you, but I'm afraid in terms of the city's resources, we can ward your quarters, but I'm afraid anything else is a little beyond us.
Well, it's a start.
Try in with some of the independent merchants. That's all I can offer you at this time. The Daleguard Company have many stores here. There may be independent scribes and things like that, or individuals. I know that there are magical relics that can protect individuals from scrying and the like, or mind reading, but also there are spells, perhaps stocking up on scrolls that can be cast, or if Keelek can prepare them, or perhaps any of you who have magical knowledge, you may be able to learn these spells. I don't know.
Thank you for your suggestions.
Yes, of course. Is there anything else? Anything else that I can help with, or any queries or questions that you have?
Just keep an eye out for Guardians on ships.
Yes, I've looked into it. I was up most of the night. The only thing we suspect is, do you know if any of these guardians that attacked you, did any of them show any ability to cast spells? Do you know?
I believe
Ayla's too dumb to know. She just knows things hurt.
I believe not. I believe their magic is innate, so I don't think they can cast spells particularly.
That puts out my theory. We've not had reports of guardians. I've gone through the logs of all of the docks. There is no report of guardians entering the city, only leaving it under this apparent message to head to the City of Glass. They all left several weeks before the summit, or weeks before the summit. The only theory I had was that perhaps they used magic to disguise themselves to enter the city, but if that's not the case, then the only other thing I can think of is if a small airship were to avoid detection and reach the under part of the city, and these guardians were brave enough, they could have climbed up through the rock face, but a single mistake would have sent them plummeting to the earth, to the ground. So it's the only thing I can think of. There are waste ports and things like that where the cities we dump the city's waste as it accumulates in our sewer system and things like that. But
yeah, they seem like they're willing to try anything. That could make sense. Them to sneak in and risk everything.
I've dispatched guards to patrol the ports and the sewer systems and things like that to make sure that we do not have any more unwelcome guests. I've also made sure that our dock workers have at least one person on shift who can see through magical disguises and invisibility and the like. Normally we only check for invisible creatures, but for magical disguises I will make sure that we have somebody checking for those as well. It's not very common, so we weren't checking it up until now.
I can help provide an aerial patrol if you'd need it.
Anything you can do to assist at this point, any help that any of you can offer, whether helping training our troops, whether it's patrolling, whether it's magical in nature, whatever it is, it would all be appreciated.
I'm happy to
Do some
that.
training with them.
It would be very welcome. Perhaps, Miss Ayla, I will find some of our more reckless troops for you to train. I feel that I would prefer to have most of the guards still very disciplined in combat, but there are a few individuals that perhaps a strike force could be put aside.
Hey, it works for me.
It does. You are unnaturally strong and tough, however, but I will find some of potential recruits to send your way. Very well. Well, if there's nothing else, my friends, I will leave you to it.
Okay. Yeah, I think discuss plans, figure out where we need to be, and when.
All right.
Ooh.
I hand this over to you then.
Just as a little point of housekeeping, during that last long rest, I'm actually going to swap out my messenger ring for that helm of teleportation that we picked up from the Zarkira simulacrum.
Okay.
So bye messenger ring.
A super cool Zarkira headband.
Is it literally just like a helm of teleportation?
It is a helm of teleportation, yeah. It's a cool circlet of teleportation instead, not a goofy looking helmet like the D&D art is. So this means only Sentry, Lucius, and Ayla have messenger rings at this point. I guess the question is, do you guys want to lose those? And because Nova has a bunch of other magic items, you might have some magic items that you've been avoiding attuning to. If two of you are out of the messenger rings, it might be only really beneficial for maybe like Lucius and like NPCs to have them, or like, you know, if you wanted to like, you know, only have a couple of you using them, or I don't know. Have a think. Think.
Yeah. I've got a ring of evasion and a ring of free action as well that can go to someone.
Yeah, feel free to just look those up if you want the stats. Like the basics is Ring of Free Action is you can't be paralyzed, you can't be restrained. Difficult terrain doesn't slow you down. I think it's pretty good. Might be very good for Sentry or Ayla because it means you can't be paralyzed, and that's like a big weakness for melee characters. Ring of Evasion might be quite good for Lucius. It's basically the Ring of Evasion is 3 charges. When you make a dexterity saving throw, you can spend a charge to basically have the benefits of the evasion ability. So if you succeed the save, you take no damage. If you fail the save, you take half damage. And that's 3 charges, regains charges daily, I believe.
I'm going to keep my messenger ring for now.
Okay, sure. Cool. All right.
Anyone for anything else?
No, I haven't even got my messenger ring.
The what was the other one? The
free
action.
Free action.
I did have that before. It was pretty good for me, to be honest.
Okay, I've taken it off my inventory, so if you want to put it on yours.
Cool. Sweet. Cool.
Okay, so
Sweet.
plan. We need a plan. We need to figure out how we fly this entire city over. Well, it is doing it anyway, but once we get to Gisela, they're going to see a giant sky city heading their way, potentially towards their barricade of airships. If I were them, I'd call that a declaration of war. If I were them. How do we deal with that? How do we get through the barricade if there is one? And how do we get into the City of Glass?
I wonder if we can do similar to what we did on the Twin Star when we came back. Do you remember when we basically made it invisible? Danica is a very powerful magic caster, so maybe we could build a bigger system, Mark.
Yeah, maybe. Just turn the whole city invisible. Let you get away with it for an astral ship once. Yeah, just do it for
Let
a city
a girl
as well.
dream. Let a girl dream. Nova lives in, she dreams
maybe.
big.
You can try anything.
like the idea,
That's the beauty of this
Nova.
game. Try anything.
We have 3 days and Twin Star City. It took a lot of our power to get that Twin Star to be invisible. So I'm going to pin that one. I'll put a pin in that one. Just hold that to the side.
What's your
for a
idea,
little
Quill?
while.
What's your idea?
I don't know. Maybe we'll just turn all of Aerois invisible. Starbane can't invade that, can he?
Invisible planet. Can't invade the invisible planet. Excellent
Can't invade
plan.
what you can't see.
Technically it was invisible until we screwed that up.
It was invisible for a little bit.
Yeah.
What if we use the city as a distraction? What if Horizon itself averts Giselle's gaze, and then we sneak in?
Change the course
There's a lot of people up here that I don't want to die, though.
But I mean,
That's the thing. We want us to be the target, not a lot of people in these houses. So if we're going to make the city a distraction, then we have to make sure that the people on the city can definitely defend it without us.
But what if it's more of a long, drawn-out diplomacy distraction? So it's a kind of hovering, looking threatening, but we do diplomacy while we sneak in.
Giselle, I've come to bargain.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
I mean, would Giselle have the military strength to be able to A, control its entire border, and B, potentially stop an incoming city that's looking threatening in the distance? Maybe if Horizon is nearby but not directly at the City of Glass, that would avert a lot of the airships and troops to that area, just in case the Horizon does march forward. It won't, we know that, obviously, but it would take them away potentially from the City of Glass.
I think
That does give us an opening.
I think this up.
You're just going to keep unmuted for that one?
I like to think that that's just Valor in the background, just crunching. Just, yeah.
It was too funny. I had to do it.
Our best plan of attack, I believe. A distraction method utilizing Horizon in the best way we know how. It's what it's capable of. It's what it's built for. And we go in and try and save as many as we can. Though we need a method of getting them out.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only so many I can. There's only so many I can transport with the Wayfinder's Guide.
We could utilize our Storm Chaser to get some more.
Yeah.
Or we would have to convene with Gusthaven to get it back and catch up. That could cost us some time.
As a reminder, the Storm Chaser is heading to Horizon. It's not staying in Gusthaven.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's
moved?
Yeah, it's going to the wrong place.
Hey,
right now.
Yeah. Right,
you know how we said we were in the city?
No,
we
you
move
messaged
it.
them to say what the plan was to go to the City of Glass, because Thalia is also coming back with the Storm Chaser.
Cool. Okay.
We texted her.
In which case,
Yeah.
that is the plan that Lucius puts forward. It's like we could use the Storm Chaser to get more on board and get them to Horizon.
Yeah, that could work.
And use it to get ahead of Horizon and covertly enter the City of Glass.
Okay, that's evacuation plans. Moving them all to Horizon, I suppose. But what about the the Lord Veracitor problem? Probably headed that way, almost definitely. How do we deal with that when that comes up?
Either we intercept with our airship on theirs. There's no doubt that's where they're heading for right now. They could already be ahead of us by a day or two. We don't know. That could have been a distraction, in fact, on Horizon. So...
Didn't the Dominators say, though, when they first spoke to Sentry, that they wanted to take her somewhere?
remember.
Did I make that up? Did I hit my head?
Have you created lore?
They wanted the Prime Matrix.
Yeah, they wanted the Matrix.
The false Prime Matrix, according to them.
No. You're just the false Prime. Prime Matrix is legit, but you're false. You're the problem.
Damn. Trying to get a one
Wrong
on there.
housing unit.
Yeah.
Wrong battery and wrong device.
I got the eye 2 more times. So I can find out. I mean, it makes more sense to use it in 3 days. I imagine to find out exactly where. It feels weird calling him Breeze. You're right, Nova. But Lord Veracitor?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
No.
Well, you don't have
I'm
to
not
add
giving him
Lord.
that title.
You could just call him Veracitor.
Big V.
Sure.
The Big V.
Shithead. I think that works better. Suits him
Right.
more.
Yeah.
Find out exactly where
Like-
Shithead is in 3 days.
They finally took
And-
my name suggestions. Yes!
I was
This one is
going
very
to say you've called so many people shithead in our adventures so far. It might be a bit confusing
Shithead
as to
McGee,
which one
shithead.
this is, but
It doesn't really matter though, isn't it? It's just, they're all shit.
I guess
so
it's the current one. Yeah.
it's always the current one, you know? See, I'm not thinking about the other shitheads right now. I'm thinking about that particular shithead.
All right, okay. Well, in that
A
case,
lot of
the
people we
current,
don't like.
most recent, and most pressing Shithead, I can find out where he is in 3 days. Or
Excellent.
maybe even find out if moving the city elsewhere will free up the City of Glass for us.
It's worth a try.
But where are we putting Horizon? I guess, actually, we don't really know much about Gisela beyond the City of Glass and then the rest of it.
The rest of it, you did. There's the capital. Well, not the capital, but one of its major trading cities, Imixen. You actually went there in Session 0. Is where you went.
Oh.
It's a port town.
Oh my
Secrets.
god.
Airship
sure
town.
we-
Well, not really
We've been back.
Yeah,
there
we
since
definitely
as
went
well, I
there,
think.
but
Yeah.
only to City Oh, have we been to Ixan again? Yeah, I'm sure.
I think you
it
did
rings
visit
bells.
sure we
briefly,
went
but
to
it was
Imixan
like
again.
we went there and bought
A
stuff
supply
and then left
run.
again.
It was a shopping
Yeah, it was a
episode.
supply run.
Yep. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Giselle is heavily mountainous, so the big bulk of the continent is a huge mountain range that just covers basically the center of the entire continent. The Sanzenzian Commonwealth is built into like mountain cities that just are connected by, roads dug through the mountains themselves. And they all have airship towers. They all have shipyards. That's what they do, is they build airships and they trade via airships and things like that. They also have lots of like metal and gold and gems because of this mountain range that they have. Primarily Goliaths, humans, and dwarves in the Sanzian Commonwealth is the chief makeup of the races there. Lots of Goliaths. Very strong warriors, very good builders. The Goliath shipbuilders are known for making very resilient ships. That's kind of their whole thing, is they're very tough.
Cool.
Okay, but figuring out a place to put the city so everyone can see it. Everyone in Giselle can see it and just be like, "Oh fuck, what's that doing there?"
I mean, you bring it to like the main coast and start heading it towards places like Imixan. People will know it's there. You'll see it. They'll be able to like look up and be like, "The fuck is that?"
Yeah. Also, do we have an idea of how long it will take our ship to get, say, if we said, "Here's a point where we're going to be in like a day," and you get there, then we can dock in Horizon while it's moving. We can get onto it.
Yeah, in theory, you could try and have you think that the Storm Chaser, if it leaves Gusthaven, it should be able to meet with you in about 2 days. So like a day before you're supposed to arrive in Giselle, it could, in theory, like Quill would know this being a messenger and knowing the maps and the wind charts and things like that, and be like, well, if Gusthaven was here and we're here, that's, rough mental calculation. It would take around 2 days if the weather is fair. If it's bad weather, then it means that the Storm Chaser might be delayed.
Okay.
No storms.
That's what we chase. That's what it's for. I think that could be the plan. Storm Chaser docks with us before we get to Giselle. Before we get to Giselle, leave so that we can split off. Horizon then gets all spooky off in the coast and is being like, "Bah," in the distance. Everyone gets all freaked out in Giselle, move all their troops. We then nip into the City of Glass, save the world, kill Veracitor, and that's my plan, basically. Imagine all of that, but I said it in character. That's my plan. The whole invisible Aerois thing, that was a joke. How's that sound?
Good.
Yeah.
As good a plan as any,
Sounds-
Quill.
At least until the scouts come back with any information. Maybe then we can just double check that it still checks out with Net.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
We'll adapt.
If there's anything you want to do, things you want to try and buy or things you want to do, there are two things there are a couple of things that happen that you probably don't want to happen. In fact, actually, because of the Storm Chaser, if you do want to try and meet them, I'm going to roll to see their weather conditions.
Whether the weather is fairer.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to look that up in a minute. There's a couple of things. In the 2 days leading up to this point, where this kind of break point, we'll call it, like where you're going to have Storm Chaser arrive, and then you're going to decide your plans when the scout ships can tell you what's going on. Nova, your parents, who are still on Horizon and under sort of like not quite house arrest, but kind of under protected watch, want to have a big dinner, and they're like, you're going to come and have dinner and you should bring your friends at some point.
We shipped them off to Gusthaven.
You shipped them to Gusthaven. You did. I forgot about that.
Delete that one. To live with the prince. So
That's
I'd really
right,
like that, but
now I'm hungry.
wrong city.
Wrong city.
Yeah. They're living it up with Prince Aradan.
You're correct. I had forgotten that moment. In that case, that's fine. We scratch that off. They're safe in Gusthaven. Don't have to worry about them. I can take them off my casualties random table.
That's exactly why. Thank you.
Arvel, who is still in Horizon, basically it's like the guards or like probably Rain will find you at some point on like the first day and be like, Stormchasers, I have a Mr. Arvel Dagus. He has left the civilian shelters and has demanded to come and speak with you. He says that he was waiting to hear back on some mission you were going on.
He's a VIP. Let him in.
Yeah,
VIP.
Didn't
tell
You're
him.
certain? All right. Well, we will bring him up, and then you can confirm it's who you believe it is. We want to make sure that there are no more surprises. He's not in any sort of magical disguise. We don't believe him to be affected by any spells, but let's just confirm that he is the individual that you believe him to be. Rain brings up Arvel. It is Arvel, who is very sort of like, get your hands off me, and he's like shrugging off the guards like, oh, I'm here to speak to the Stormchasers. And then when he sees you, he's like, well, my goodness, there you are. What's been going on? Where have you been? What's happened?
I'm trying to remember between
A lot.
In what break did we last see you? Was it before we went to Gusthaven again? Was it before we went just roaming around? I can't remember.
Before you went
where
to
we've
rescue
been.
Valor.
That's the
She's
one.
fine. She's good. She's here. We're
What?
fine.
The sister like, get out of my
But-
way. He's just like shoves the guards out of his way.
There was another situation that we had to tackle, which is why we haven't spoken to you.
Look, Ayla, I don't care about that. You're very busy heroes being champions of Aerois and all that. Where is Valor? I want to see her. Where is she?
She's in there.
Okay. He's like, and he like opens the door
Watch out for
and he's like,
watch out for Max. Watch out for don't go running in there.
I don't know who
There's
that
Max.
is. And then he opens the door.
Don't, Max will stab you.
Yeah.
No, don't antagonize him.
He's like, who's this? Oh, wait, who are you? Put that sword down, boy. I'm in trouble with you. I'm Arvel Dagus. What are you doing? Where? And you just hear, he's like, for goodness sake. And then there's just like, it can't be. You look like, oh, it's good to see you, girl. And you hear like the sounds of, little quiet dwarven sobs and things like that coming from inside. When you peek round, he's just because Valor's taller than him now. The side effect of like having this kind of magic slowly changing her. She's now taller than Arvel, but Arvel's just sort of like got her in a sort of big hug and just sort of like thing. Max is looking very perplexed. He's still like he's holding the sword to Arvel's neck, but he's just like so confounded but that this dwarf does not give a shit. Like Arvel's just walked in with a blade at his throat and he's just like, oh, like, look at you. Is this some sort of magic or am I going crazy? I don't remember you being this big. And she's just like, no, it's magic, Arvel. It's magic. Max, put the sword down. Trust me, I know who he is. He just takes it away.
Everyone's here. Everyone's here.
I think while this is going on,
Everyone's
I think can Sentry like whisper to one of the Horizon guards and then ask for an escort and go see Petal.
Sure, of course, yeah. The guards say, like, Sentinel Prime, you don't need an escort from us. If you want to go anywhere, if you'd like us to go and bring someone here, we're happy to do that. But if you would like to go anywhere in the city, you're allowed. You're welcome to. You're champion of Horizon, champion of Aerois.
Okay, I wasn't sure of the rules. Okay, thank you. And then I'll quietly just go find Petal.
Well, is there anything you guys want to do with Arvel and Valor? Like, or are you just going to let them sort of reconnect and do their own thing? Like,
The imagery for Lucius is he's just going to stand there, hands clasped in front of him, and just tearing up and enjoying it from the sidelines, I think.
Sure.
Just letting them have their moment.
and their little mate. Lovely.
Yeah, just watching it all happen.
Yeah. Within like a few moments, Arvel is like poring over the paperwork and is basically saying like, you need a copy of, there was this famous wizard I once knew, and he's got written by A. Plumbus. Yeah, we'll go find he's got a bunch of books on gods, and he's like drafting up like, and you need this parchment's no good. This stuff will tear to pieces. We'll get you the good stuff. And he's like writing like a list of like stuff to go and buy and better supplies. Like, this ink's crap. Throws it away. I'll get you the good stuff. And he's like coming up with like a list.
That was my ink.
Yeah, you're not Valor. You don't get special, you don't get dad vibe. He's like, well, if you want some Nova, I will buy you good ink if you need it too. You never asked.
Oh, my dad gave me that. You just thrown it it's on the floor now.
It's crap. It's garbage. Bad ink. Get you the good stuff.
Wow.
I'm gonna get you the finest inks, the finest parchments.
Out in the astral scene. Wow.
Nova.
Hi, Lucius. Hi, how are you doing, by the way?
Oh, fine. So what we should do is get you some new ink, and also look for something in the market to stop us being scryed upon. How about we do that?
Yeah. I was thinking that would be a good idea.
All right, we'll leave them to it.
Idea. Okay, nice. While you guys leave that to it, Sentry, yeah, you going back to Petal's shop, it is closed. All of the civilians have been taken into secured shelters, which are actually underground. So they're kind of like, like places to go, like if a battle broke out in Horizon. So heavily guarded, quite thick walls and things like that. People have like there are like little curtains spread out, like freestanding little dividers, but bedrolls on the floor and things like that. And yeah, Petal's, because she's a citizen of Horizon, is gone, where she's been told to go, which is into these places. And you find her kind of helping coordinate things. She's like stacking supplies, and she's cataloging a bunch of medicinal herbs and things like that, like naming off all these plants and things like that. And she turns around and sees you, and it's just like, oh, Sentry, I'm so sorry, I didn't have time to let you know when Danica called for the order for citizens to take refuge. I didn't have a way of letting you know what was going on.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. I'm sorry. I haven't had time to see you recently. We've been getting caught up in so much.
You've been doing what you're supposed to do, Sentry. You're protecting everyone, of course. You don't need to apologize. Is something wrong? Do you need something, or?
No. Where are you staying around here? Is there a place?
I'm staying here.
Here?
Yes, everyone shares it. It's basically my little street. You're designated one of these chambers, and we're all sort of in here together. Quite a few of us have little herbalist shops and florists and things like that. So we're trying to make sure that we've got a good supply of healing herbs and things like that, food and things that can be used. Trying to make sure we're useful, really.
Well, let me help. I'll help you.
Of course. Yes, of course. I'd love that. And she just sort of like takes your arm and leads you over, and yeah, basically just goes about fussing. It's just, it's busy work. It's like they're trying to keep themselves distracted and busy by doing useful things like stocking stuff and making sure everyone's got supplies. And maybe I think Petal might have a couple of like little constructs that she's working on and things like that to, do bits and pieces with. But yeah, it's just nice. Yeah. It's just nice, pleasurable little busy work, really.
And tell me everything. Talk to me about everything. Tell me stories. Tell me everything that you've been up to. Your favorite places to go, where you like to eat. Just everything. Tell me everything.
NPC's going to make an insight check. Nope, doesn't have a clue. Yeah, she does. She just tells you everything and just is like, oh, okay, yeah, sure. And just talks to you about everything as if nothing's wrong. And just tells you all about things, and it's all sort of like just normal people stuff, not even royalty stuff. It's like a little shopkeeper in a busy city. It's very different to the life that she would have led had things gone differently. She's normal, really.
Sentry will quietly help and listen to everything she's saying and take everything in.
I do think that Petal will be like, oh, Sentry, you must come and meet the most wonderful person I've met. They're so they love plants and flowers and things, and like leads you over, and there's this centaur like, oh my yes, it's Sentry. And then we'll introduce you to Rose. And it's Rosemeadow. Yeah. And Rosemeadow and Petal would absolutely be fucking friends. Like, they would be, like, absolutely, like, super happy, hippie friends together. Quill. Nova and Lucius. I don't have plans for like shops and stuff in Horizon fully yet. In terms of trying to find anti-scrying things, there is the main thing you can really find are scrolls of non-detection. There's no like rings or magic items really that will protect you from it, but you can but there are also things like rings of spell storing. So not like you could have somebody cast non-detection in it and then you could cast it from it. But if you can do that, why not just have them cast it on you? But you can definitely buy. There's probably, if you look around all these different shops, there's probably about 5 scrolls of non-detection. They cost about 200 gold each. And
how long would they last?
They last 8 hours each, but one person.
Hours, yeah. How is it a ritual?
That is just what I was going to look up because I know you can do that.
Yeah, I was wondering if I can learn it through my Book of Shadows.
It is not a ritual spell, I'm afraid to say.
Okay.
Okay.
Poop.
However, it's only knowledge domain clerics can learn it, not arcana domain clerics. But yeah. So yeah, you can find these scrolls, which will protect you for some time.
I mean, it's better than
the
nothing.
other thing. Actually, it wouldn't be another magic item; it'd be another spell. It'd be another scroll. But Nova would know this. Any spell where you would know how scrying works. Scrying can observe you in sort of like a 10-foot sphere. It can hear you, it can see you, but there are other spells that can create demiplanes or sections of a room that can't be scryed upon. So obviously if you have your barracks warded, they would be protected. You won't be able to be scryed in there. But if you were out and about and you needed to have a private conversation, you've got spells like Leomund's Tiny Hut. Can't be scryed upon while you're in it. Mordenkainen's Mansion, like anywhere where you're not in the material plane, you could use that to escape being scryed upon.
Okay. Are any of those rituals?
Probably not. Oh, Leomund's Tiny Hut might be.
Yeah.
Tiny Hut. But the only problem is obviously that is like a thing that doesn't move. So once it's in place, but it would be like we need to have a conversation. Let's step inside here and then we can do that.
Yeah.
I'm also just checking if that actually does work the same way. I would argue that it can't do, yeah. Other creatures and objects are barred from passing through its spells and other magical effects can't extend through the dome or be cast through it. So yes, it would protect you from it. And that is a ritual. It's a 3rd level ritual. Tiny Hut. If you search that up.
It just needs a small crystal bead as well, so not too...
Yeah, well, that if you learn it as a ritual, you wouldn't necessarily need that. Tiangong can replicate that.
Okay. Well, that's probably a good idea to learn in my little ritual book.
Yes, the other one is if you have the ability to see invisible things, you would know if the sensor is nearby. You would be able to see the sensor.
So I do, but only through the Rod of Alertness, and only when that's like see invisibility at will. I
mean, you can cast see invisibility at will. You can constantly just be like, I can see invisibility. Yeah.
Yeah. Every hour I could, yeah.
There you go.
I guess if we work out a combination of learning Leomund's Tiny Hut for me and just casting see invisibility a lot, and then maybe
you can also those
scrolls as well.
For 8 hours, you just know that person can't be scryed upon. It's kind of a good protector, especially for you and Lucius, who you know have this much easier connection to be scryed upon. That doesn't mean that Callus, he could still scry on Quill, Ayla, or Sentry. It would be a harder, you know, they would have a greater chance at knowing that it's happening and it not working. I think but with you two, it's
definitely at least getting 2 of them for this mission to City of Glass, knowing that we can roam freely, knowing that we are non-detectable.
Well, they're 200 gold each, so 5 of them would be 1,000, and then the tiny hut is 200 gold, so you could easily do that.
200 gold, yeah. I've got
1,200.
23 platinum, so...
That's 230. 23 platinum is 230 gold.
Okay.
I'll just take 1,200 out of the stash.
Yeah.
Sure.
Didn't we have like 1 million
You've got a
gold in
lot
your-
of money. You've got like
16,000
19,000
left.
gold.
Cool.
16.
That's fine then.
All right, there you go. There you go. 5 scrolls.
So I'll add Leonmin's tiny hut to my ritual list. Lucius, if you want to take... Do you want to take both of the scrolls?
I can do.
So as a note,
Yeah.
Quill will have to cast the spell for it to
Okay,
not be a check.
okay.
So you'll just need to have Quill cast it.
Okay.
Okay, well, if Quill takes the scrolls then.
So 5 scrolls of non-detection to Quill.
There you go.
And then, yeah. And we'll assume,
All right.
Nova,
Cool.
will basically, until you're in like a combat scenario or until there's like a rush for things going on, I'll just assume that you have see invisibility on, basically.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think just in terms of RP, I'd love to like maybe just like connect it to the goggles. So like the, you know, I somehow
Sure.
attune like the rod with the goggles and then I'm just like putting it on and like looking around. Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, we good.
Sure. Yeah, sounds good. Cool. The first incident of that, by the way, is on the second day. It's nothing. It's not like a particular scenario. Like a sensor begins following Lucius.
Oh, Lucius, get in the barracks now. Get in the barracks.
okay.
Get in the barracks now. Now.
running.
Now.
Okay. Yep. And Lucius runs up, and as soon as he enters the barracks, the sensor disappears.
There was a thing on you. There was a thing. The thing. They're looking at you.
There's nowhere safe. I'll stay in here for
Well,
now.
we're safe in here for now. Yeah, we're good here for now. Okay, but we saw it. I saw it. That it's working. At least we know it's working.
True. You're right.
That is on the second day. So if there's anything else on the first day you want to do say. But yeah, until the second day, basically you get that sensor. It doesn't crop up again. Once you will. In fact, after that time, there's never a sensor ever again. As soon as like Nova's like, oh, sensor, go now, you don't get another scrying attempt. Like another sensor doesn't seem to appear. Because they would be able to see that you were like being spied on. Like, stop talking. And they'd be like, well, fuck.
But it's just whether, yeah.
Yeah, and so yeah,
It's whether
you're
or not
gonna
they've
have to keep
figured
an
out
eye out
where
for
we
it.
are.
But exactly, yeah, and you know they're gonna constantly keep trying to do it. But for the next couple of days, you're safe. Quill,
Yo.
you receive a sending spell from your mother.
Oh, crap. I keep forgetting to message.
Oh, you in trouble. You in trouble, boy.
Keelek, long time, no message. Have heard from your ship. Encountered bad weather. Will be delayed. Messenger Guild passing on the message. Your mother. Goodbye. It's very terse message.
Mother, been busy. You're embarrassing me. Try to get here as soon as you can. Love you. Sorry. Again. We'll be better. Where's guys?
Sure. She doesn't know what clear skies means, but yeah. Cool.
God damn it.
With all of that, is there anything you guys want to do? I'm done. My little list of stuff is out.
No, I'm happy with the...
The only thing I wanted to say was, in terms of my spell list, I think you were looking at a spell that I can't learn, but I do have
it's knowledge.
Temple of the Gods, which takes an hour to cast, lasts for 24 hours. I basically just make a temple, and also it restricts a particular type of creature from entering it. And also, no divination spells can appear inside the temple. But it is like a fixed place. So it doesn't really help with being followed around and stuff. But I'll just throw that one out there.
I mean, you could literally go down into like an open plaza in Horizon and be like, Temple of Hesper, emerge. It is time to worship now.
I am constructing this
sort of cleric.
right here.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I could literally just have a temple just appear on the Storm Chaser. Like, yep, that's where my new Temple of Hesper is. And also restricts just a ton of stuff. Could be useful.
Could be.
I love that
you know.
spell. That's an amazing
Very
spell.
cool.
Holy crap.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And also doesn't cost a lot.
Sure.
So yeah, just an hour of my time.
All right. Any other sendings? Any other scryings? Any other business? If not, we'll jump to basically beginning of day 3.
You said the Storm
Cool.
Chaser's delayed, right?
I said the message to Quill. It's from his mother.
Oh, okay. So, duh.
Oh, I mean,
Nice to
yeah,
see them.
yeah. I tell everyone they're delayed. They ain't gonna be here. That does actually kind of ruin the entire plan.
Well, at the beginning of day 3,
Wow.
Rain comes to find you. Storm Chasers, we have sent out some initial scouts ahead. They have just returned. We are maybe about 12 hours out of reaching the point where the City of Glass is located. We should discuss what the scouts have found. This is quite a grave matter.
A grave matter. What have they found?
Come. Rain accompanies you to a war room, a council room. Danica is there, seemingly resting from preparing for this next movement of Horizon, as well as a few officers, people, military-looking people. One of them has projected an illusion onto the table, which mimics and you recognize it, a section of land that goes into a peninsula where you can see this ruined City of Glass, which you know is the City of Glass, this kind of sweeping thing that's been broken away. The forests that were outside the front of the City of Glass, and this very narrow sort of path valley into it, and then the long stretches that lead up into the hills and mountains above it. Looking at it, there is a fleet of about 10 airships hovering over the City of Glass. There is battalions of ground forces marching and camped on the plains beneath the mountains, outside the forests and the entrance into the city. And you can see there is some sort of icon which indicates more forces at the very entrance of the City of Glass. And there is sort of an illusory projection of battle, like between the two forces. When you arrive, Danica's like, Storm Chasers, I'm glad that you're here. We need to discuss this. Our scout ships returned this morning. They were fired upon by the Sansian Commonwealth airships, but we did manage to get most of them back, and they've given us out their reports. It seems that Her Royal Highness of the Commonwealth has dispatched a significant force to attack the City of Glass. I don't know if this is connected to your Guardians, Sentinel Prime, whether this is something in the city they want, or this is under the orders of Callus. They have committed a military engagement here. We believe that these airships are supporting a ground force, and they are attempting to assault the City of Glass. However, it would appear that there is a rebel force. Some Sansian Commonwealths, some appeared to be Guardians by my scouts' reports, fighting back. Guerrilla tactics, they've erected barricades and obstacles, which is making it very hard for the ground troops to get in. The airships are providing fire support, but it seems that the airships they're not firing upon the city itself. It seems that they are concerned about damage to the city. This means that they are providing fire support down to their ground troops, but it is limited in its regard. We need to decide what we want to do now. I was not expecting a full-on engagement here. I thought that perhaps we may be able to send you ahead in a scout vessel, sneak you in, and then bring Horizon in for a quick pickup, but this changes things. Do you have any questions, Storm Chasers?
How many airships did you say?
We estimate about 10. My scouts
10.
believe that there may be reinforcements on the way, but we have a window where this is the force we would be engaging. Horizon has weapons. We have arcane turrets and cannons built into the city walls and defenses, but we don't have any ability to board airships. We have no ability to engage our troops. Our troops are defensive. They're equipped for a defensive siege battle. We only have limited offensive capabilities. We do have a number of smaller airships we could deploy with some weaponry, but these Sanzian Commonwealth ships, they're equipped with arcane cannons. Their crews and their soldiers on the ground seem to be equipped with weapons that my people have never seen before. I suspect these are Valkyrian weapons.
Oh.
What if we could teleport straight in to the City of Glass?
That would certainly help you getting into the City of Glass itself. There are two things I fear for that. One, we wouldn't be able to come and get you. I don't know how we would get the Guardians there, and ideally, if these rebel forces are fighting against the Commonwealth, well, I see them as potential allies. If possible, I would like to rescue them. But we would have no way of getting them back to Horizon. Horizon will have to engage this force if we are to recover the Guardians into the city. Otherwise, we won't be able to get close enough. Even a teleportation circle is limited in how many people you can fit through it. It would be difficult to do.
Quill, when did you say the Storm Chaser would be arriving on Horizon? Is that about today?
Just FYI, like, if we had 3 days and I got that message, I would have communicated that one. Like, I just assumed that was communicated.
Well, the Storm Chaser being delayed, you got on like the second day, so you've only had that news for like, less than a few, 10, 12 hours.
Yeah, they were to be here, well, by now. But I am going to be honest, I was a little bit more focused on how angry my mother was to listen to the entire message and get how long until they are going to be there for.
Okay.
Wow.
See, I feel we need to join them, this rebel group of Guardians. I think we need to engage while, like was suggested, this force, we understand the size of it, at least right now. Maybe Horizon can provide some aerial defenses.
Well, Rain, Commander Rain, please. And she gestures to Rain. Mr. Ernesto, there are some factors we need to consider here. From the scouts' reports and our own calculations, this force, this rebel force, we don't suspect they've been fighting long, perhaps a few days before we arrived here. They won't last long. They're using delaying tactics. They're slowing down these ground forces to keep them away from the City of Glass, but they won't be able to keep this up forever. A concentrated push by their ground forces will overwhelm them. On the other side, if Horizon is to engage these airships, I fear that 10 is more than we can handle. A choice needs to be made. You are the deciding factor in either of these battles. From what we've gathered, there are no, shall we call them, high-powered individuals in either battle. The airships are crewed by soldiers with unusual weaponry, yes, but they are normal soldiers. The airships are normal airships. The ground forces, they have some strange vehicles or carriages of Starbane's creation, but I've not seen any individuals that would pose an incredible threat. If you engage one, the other is likely to come under threat. If you engage the airships, if you can help disable some of these airships, 3, 4 of them, Horizon should be able to defend itself against the rest. That will, however, leave our ground forces, these rebels and the Guardians, in greater danger of being overrun. If you engage the ground forces, well, Horizon will be in greater danger, but the ground forces are much more likely to survive. If you have any communication with anybody on the ground, this would be useful to know the exact nature of this herald that Sentry wishes to reconvene with. None of my scouts could report on. We gave them Herald's description, and none of them saw her in the battle. We don't know where Herald may be.
Are there no allies of Aerois in the vicinity that can get to us quickly?
Not in the vicinity, no. That we are on the very tip of Giselle's continent. Even our allies in Mirskir or Voxar, they are days away. We need to make this decision within the next 24 hours. Otherwise, I fear that those ground forces, they won't survive.
Okay.
Diplomatically,
I could.
this is forces of Giselle fighting over territories of Giselle. The moment we intervene, won't this have repercussions across, well, everywhere else?
Danica will look forward and say, my dear Keelek, these people have thrown in their side. They've thrown their flag to Callus. War's already been declared. It's just a matter of time. Whatever we do here, I don't think that it will have a greater effect on the rest of Aerois. We know that this battle is coming. Callus made his intentions very clear.
Just this will be the bit that lights the fuse, so to speak.
I imagine so. But if there are people down there that need saving, Guardians, or these rebels that are fighting against Callus, this is where Horizon has to take a stand.
Sentry?
I could try to scry on Herald and see where they are.
Any information you can provide, Nova Vija, would be welcome. Anything to build onto our reports. The greater understanding we have of this conflict, the better. Whatever you wish
Sentry,
to do,
do
we'll need
you-
to decide how you get there as well.
Do you own anything of Herald's? Did they leave anything with you?
No, I don't.
I mean, I'll just-
echo with them.
Okay.
I'll just cast Sending and just speak to her.
Go on.
And
Yeah.
just asking basically where she is right now, what the situation is in the City of Glass, in 25 words, with clear skies.
When you get the response, Quill, there is interference. Magical interference is messing with the message. You don't quite get the full message through. When you get back, it's something along the following. Which one is my correct one?
Is it this
Where's
one?
the-
It is.
Broken walkie-talkie. There it is.
Battle. Turn desperate. Made decision. City. Believe. Matrix. Solution. Find. Rook. Forgive me.
Find Rook. Okay.
I mean, you remember
Yeah.
that the City of Glass magic is kind of funky down there as well.
Yeah, I read that out, obviously, as it's happening to everyone. Okay, well, okay. I mean, they're obviously embroiled in this combat as well. So that wasn't a huge amount of information, but Herald is down there, at least.
Did Nova want to try scrying as well?
Yeah, I'll try scry as well. Might as well
Sure.
see if I can see something.
Herald unfortunately doesn't know who's scrying on her, so I do make the saving throw. So you would be a -5 because you're familiar with the target, but you don't have an object. So -5 to this. That's going to be a fail. So very much like Quill, the sending spell having this interference, your scrying is also, it's distorted. Like it kind of shifts and glitches when you're looking through the goggles, Nova. It shifts and glitches. It's hard to exactly see clear. It's like a fuzzy lens. The audio is all sort of garbled. You can see Herald. You know that she's in the City of Glass, not outside in the battle, but in the city, and is fighting something. You see her turn around. You see her like using magic to fight. There's something like some sort of explosion or spell goes off nearby. She's thrown to the side. She bursts in like through an old wooden doorway, takes cover in a refuge. She calls over some allies from another piece of cover, and you see like maybe 4 or 5 other guardians, one of which is massive and has this big flail on the end of a chain and just kind of bursts through the stone wall, and you just hear smash, and then it just kind of looks around, smash, smashes through another wall, creating another exit out of this area. You see a much more lithe Warforged, kind of very slender, with these 8 eyes all around its head, and it's kind of like looking around, and it's got a bow, and you can see firing. One with a big kind of vice grip for a hand, and then a giant hammer in the other, kind of like looks around. They've got like makeshift armor and shields on, almost like a little tactical team, and they're moving their way through these ruins. And Herald seems to be trying to find something. The static and the interference, the magical kind of chaotic nature gets more and more severe as the scry goes on, and then eventually it just...
She's in the city. She has Guardian allies, but they're under attack. I don't know if they're on retreat or if they're on the move. I can't tell.
They're looking for
But she's
something.
in the city.
I don't know why.
Rook, right, Quill?
Yeah, you mentioned Rook, but I don't really understand the significance, unless I'm forgetting something about Rook. What makes him so...
I told her to
Important.
go find him.
So
That
maybe
was
that's
something
But
what
amidst
she's
all this,
for.
Oh, I didn't...
It must be pivotal.
I wanted to bring Tracker back. That was all. And now... we need a plan. We need to figure out what to do.
We do.
I say we join the rebels. We fight our way in there, and we help.
If you join the ground battle, Horizon, I believe that we can take these airships, but we will suffer. It will be a difficult battle. But if you think that is best, then you must do what you think is the best use of your skills and abilities. I leave this decision in your hands. You will also need to decide on a way to get down to the ground. Danica, it probably is best if you discuss the limitations. Yes, Horizon, I can move Horizon, but I have limitations. I can't bring Horizon down lower to the ground. I can position us maybe a few thousand feet above the City of Glass or above the continent, but I have no way of getting us down to the city. You could take a patrol skiff. These are vulnerable to attack. We also have sky sails. You could try and use those to basically deploy them as soon as you are closer to the ground. This will make it much harder for the enemy to attack you, and would hopefully slow your descent, enabling you to properly land and join the battle on the ground.
That seems like a good option.
I could teleport us using this, and I point to the circlet.
Keep in mind, Nova Vidra, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the teleport spell, but there is a chance that you can go off course.
Between you and me, Nova, we could also make
variation can be miles.
We could also make our party fly.
That would also be suitable.
Yeah.
Will can fly.
I can fly. I don't need a cast.
I can fly.
Oh. All right.
I can fly.
You can.
Just got 'em out.
I can't fly, just for the record.
Well, one of us can cast fly on you. Not a problem.
Yep. That'll get us down there.
Very well. Are you decided then? You will join the ground battle and Horizon will deal with the airships?
Lucius just looks at Sentry.
I'll look at everybody else.
Nice.
What do we...
Uno reverse.
reverse card. What do we think?
You have to understand that Callus and potentially a threat of other guardians from Hadar are against these guardians on the ground. If we don't get to them before both of those threats, then we've lost them.
Miss Ayla, please, I am making no judgment on your decision. I just want you to be aware of the situation. I just want you to be aware
Not
that...
at all, just... There are two forces. There's another one that could potentially show up, and I worry that without us, they don't have much
Understandable. Understandable.
I think you're right. I think we need to quell this before innocent guardians succumb to Hadar, and thus create a bigger threat for Aerois.
Danica nods. Very well. We'll do our best to take out the cannons on these airships. I think if we can take out their cannons, target them specifically, maybe try and down some of their sails, that will force them to retreat. Ideally, I want to stop them being able to fire down. Bombardments from their airships will be a real pain for you to deal with. If we can get the airship close enough and I can join the fight personally, I may be able to do something. I wish there was a way that we could pilot the ship without me needing to use all of my magic to do it. If we had some way of doing that, I might be able to do something. Afraid that piloting the city takes a considerable amount of my power, but we may still be able to do something.
Vela?
Very well.
Could someone else power the city? Like Vala?
Vala's very powerful.
From what I know of your curious friend, impossible. The city's engines aren't just built to take magic, keep in mind. This is not just a case of pouring magical energy. It is fire. It is raw fire to create propulsion, to create energy, to cause force to move. She would need to do something similar, create not just magic, but force. If you think are capable of doing something like that.
It's worth
It has
asking.
not been tested, however.
Oh, I just thought of the weird gravity kobold. I
Pathetic.
think he's capable.
It's on Gusthaven. He's having a chill
Yeah.
time.
Oh, I can pick anyone up. Zoop in, zoop out with my book. But
True.
I don't think he'll be able to do it for some reason.
Vala's more powerful and capable than even we know. It's worth investigating what she is capable of.
Very well. Bring her. We will send for her and see what we can do. But I would not. This would be a gamble. Whether it works or not, I'm uncertain.
Why don't we test something before we get there?
My fear for that is if we disable the engines in this test, we won't even reach the City of Glass. It would take us hours to repair any damage. I fear it is almost better to go with our, even though it may be flawed or may have weaknesses, go as we currently intend. Once we arrive into the battle, if your friend is capable of doing what is needed, then so be it. I will reserve some of my power the closer we get.
All right.
All right. Well, if you have your own methods of transport down to the ground, I suggest you head to one of the docking platforms on the... ready to make your descent. You will be entering a battle here. This battle is already underway. Airships have clear firing lines down to the ground. You may even take some fire on your way down, so be prepared.
Oh,
Good luck, Storm Chasers.
Good luck, Danica.
teach everyone how to fly real quick.
Good luck, everyone.
Actually, they're going to be faster than me.
And with that, I'm going to end today's episode of High Rollers D&D. And get ready for next week. The battle of the City of the Glass. For the City of Glass next week. Yeah. It's time to Halo
Save
jump.
those guardians.
Get that gel layer.
DST.
Yeah, basically a DST. Yeah. Sky City drop squad.
Awesome. Cool.
Fantastic.
We're really good
Well,
at dropping, right?
Yeah.
So,
You're pretty good at falling.
Sentry's
Sentry's great
really
at
good at it.
falling.
So
Yeah.
good. I have got a featherfall token just in case I fall off.
So I would suggest you have a think about featherfall tokens, because remember they activate basically as soon as you start falling, and you go very slowly afterwards. You don't want to be like 1,000 feet in the air, just like fuck.
Now it is 8 o'clock. I don't know if anyone is on right now, but it's probably best if we close off on
Head off on
Yogscast
Yogs.
Close
yes.
on Yogs.
Yep.
before we get into any
Yeah.
conversations. So if you want to
that's
continue
right.
the conversation, go on to High Rollers D&D.
Parsec Pals is on. So
Otherwise,
go,
please enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're on Yogs, enjoy Parsec Pals. Say hi to Pen and Boba. We're going to head over to High Rollers D&D to just do the final chat and read out donations and stuff. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye, Yoggies. Bye, Yogs.
See ya.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hello. Welcome to the after party.
Oh, what an
The
episode.
party where we promised we'd talk about Lucius being inside Sentry.
Gross.
You said you'd save it for the
detailed
after hours
description
chat.
Yeah.
That's the after dark. This like the one after.
No.
This is just the after party.
This is just the after show.
That's
Besides,
just for me.
No.
There's already art of. I'm pretty sure there's probably already art of Lucius inside Prince Aradan. So you know. That's fine.
Yep.
There's some nice bathtub art of it.
There was some very nice bathtub art of it. Yes, I did see. Anyway,
I did ask
what
some
an
more raunchy
episode!
stuff of Lucius. It's my own fault.
Oh my god, yeah. You did
what an
encourage it. You did. Fight went one way, and then everything after that fight. Boy, howdy.
That was the spicy bit.
Oof. You know, one of those things, as a DM, there are things you're like, well, if they do this, I guess I could do a cool thing with this, but they'll probably be all right. Sentry's got a really high charisma save bonus. It'll just be a cool moment.
Didn't do
And
anything.
then
If it's
Sentry's like,
Rhiannon rolling.
fail. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
Oh.
I was like, +12, I'll be fine. Not a problem. Turns out very big.
Yeah.
What? Super cool. Like, it's
Very
like I said to you,
cool.
though, like, such a great paladin sentry thing to do. And then also, it gave us a super cool moment of like those moments
Yeah.
of the team coming together to do stuff.
Hell
It's
yeah.
literally my favorite stuff, my favorite shit.
Agreed.
Fucking epic speech, and then Sky City flying about, fucking super cool, kicking the crap out of the remaining dominators. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
you guys
Did not
did a good-
expect
Ayla
that.
with the smash. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
so much damage. So much
Hell
damage.
yeah.
No survivors.
Hell yeah.
Love that.
Taking out the trash.
Amazing. Well, fantastic stuff. Tommy Boy, anything?
Hello.
Hello.
Quite a few, because I still need to finish the donations from last episode, so I will probably do some speed running. Dirty Toot Hole has donated with hi.
Pee-pee.
Still rewatching Lightfall, and I needed to remind Mark how much of a fucking Chad Dermot was. Also, can you imagine Ree and Dusk City Outlaws with the Hat Films crew? Oh my god, the chaos would be beautiful. You've played Dusk City Outlaws, haven't you, Ree? Or at least
I
eight
think
Dusk
replayed
City.
Spectaculars, which was very
Yeah.
similar. They replayed Spectaculars with us.
I'm sure there was one. Speedrun. Dorklord with a quarter
I did
hundo.
Waterdeep. That's what you're thinking of.
Speedrun! Dorklord with a quarter
Speedrun.
hundo. I have once again escaped the depths of the VOD squad. Welcome. Sounds like Breeze or Overlord Veracitor now needs another whacking. You guys are loads of fun and really brighten up my Sundays. So keep doing what you do, you glorious people. Clear skies. Thank you very much. Fantipotier. I've read that one wrong. With $30 dues. Hello. Have been lurking for longer than I dare to admit in VOD Squad. Something like episode 22 of Lightfall, and watched everything since. Very happy to have been with the stream today to share the joys and passion for D&D with so many like-minded is magic. Yes, indeed it is. We had a couple of donations from Shire. Thank you very much. Tristan Waterman donated with, hey all, I can't watch live because I'm still not caught up, but today's my birthday. That was a week ago. Happy birthday for last week.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Fluffy.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
I wanted to give you guys some love. Mark, you're an absolute inspiration as a DM, and everyone is such amazing players. Thank you for everything you do. Thank you very much. Happy birthday again. Honky Konky
Madonna.
has donated with, Mark, you are once again banned from the digital dice. They were better this week.
They were much better this week. It was fine.
No, these are still last week. Dirty Toot Hole
yeah.
has donated with, wow, Crit Roll is finished, and I'm only 20 episodes behind. It doesn't feel even close to being done yet. Wait a minute. Squints suspiciously at high rollers. Mere Kitty with a quarter hundo. Once again, can't watch tonight, but I'm on track for a promotion. Great. Thought I'd share a bit
Very
extra
good.
today. Looking forward to watching the VOD when I can.
Congrats.
Thank you very much. The Herv has donated. Thank you very much. Delinadan. These are from Chaos Twins. Skip ahead, skip ahead, skip ahead. Varus donated with no message. Thank you very much. Wait, no, these are cuts to Strahd now. Here we go. Rock Cube donated with, unfortunately, I missed the window for the adorable Quill plushie because of an unexpectedly awesome set of dates. However, I know in my heart that Quill will be my wingman even without a plushie. Roll high on that heat resist because, oh Lord, it's coming. Yeah. Maya DJ has donated. These are from today, by the way. Hello and clear skies. Long-time watcher, first-time donator. I graduated high school last week, so I thought I would send some love to you guys for being a big part in helping me get through it. Keep at it. Much
Congrats.
love.
Congratulations.
Rats.
Awesome. Darrow donated with Vodgoblin today, but thank you for being such a consistent source of positivity. I had to go to psych treatment last week, and the first thing I watched when I got home was Strahd. Something familiar and comforting helped me transition back home more easily. Awesome. Great to hear.
Sweet.
Natalie Hawthorne. Update time. They killed 2 krakens on the sea, and then Mama Kraken in her lair, and then killed more children before deciding to adopt one of the orphans after leaving only it alive. Also, our drow druid fell in love with Zariel. Oh my god.
Zariel's pretty great.
Incredible.
I'd fall in love with Zariel. Me and Rhea like simp for Zariel.
Oh yeah. Devil woman. Yes.
I
love it.
Johnny Iron. I really hope that's your real name because that's awesome. Johnny Iron.
Johnny Iron.
Hey all. Been watching since episode 20 of Lightfall, but finally got a job where I can afford to donate and hoping to add some High Rollers dice to my collection soon. Last year's been rough, but I do enjoy the weekly streams. They do wonders for morale. Thank you very much. Brian Indigo has donated with Bird Boy and buddies bashing bots who blaspheme for Blaze and the Big Bad.
Blaze. Blaze.
THXCSV 2015. Thank you for your donation. Ghost in Progress with a $250. Don't get me wrong. I love the intense character-driven RP, but damn, that was stressful. Mr. Altissimo with a $250. Hail. Hope you have been well. Texas has gone from freezing to frying now. Hopefully, we can decide on one or the other. Just started a campaign in Curse of Strahd with my group. Time to see what chaos will happen. Let's see. Varys, thank you for your donation with no message. That Norwegian guy, not to backseat DM, but I'm going to give Mark inspiration for epic descriptions. Love it.
Nice.
That took a turn.
See,
didn't expect
nice
to go that way.
backseating. I like that.
That's a
backseating.
wholesome one.
Yeah.
That's a wholesome.
That's like
use
wholesome
there.
DM.
Yeah.
Don't use that inspiration though. We don't need that.
Yeah, I won't.
Snake Rat.
I don't like inspiration, so don't worry.
Snake Rat has donated with Clear Skies from Delaware because every US dono has Tom stating the state in it. Tom healed and has been playing support like an absolute god. Finally. The character progression in this show is so good. It's almost unrealistic. I'm doing it, you guys. I promise.
I think me and Tom were talking about this. I
Very
think
proud
he's
of you.
become a better healer since Tom's like, well, I don't have garbage healing spells now. So yeah, I like healing now.
Yeah.
He likes fucking numbers.
Mass Cure Wounds. It's the best thing. Heal is also insanely powerful. It's just early on, like a level 1 Cure Wounds. Great. I've healed you for 1% of your health.
Okay, cool. I don't have to make
exactly
a
the same for
saving
causing
throw
damage.
because I've got unconscious.
No, it's not, because every spell and every weapon does more damage than a heal.
No, it doesn't.
Like,
a longsword does
Speed run.
D8 plus X damage.
No, okay,
The heal
hang on.
is 1D8
Speed run.
plus
Speed
X
run.
healing.
All right,
It's
this
exactly
episode-
the same.
All right, we're going to be here till 10 o'clock. Cure Wounds, 1d8 plus
Please
6.
don't.
The same level spell, Guiding Bolt, is
I feel
4d6.
sick, Tom. Keep going.
Right, because monsters have more hit points in general. That's why player spells deal more damage.
Monsters can do Guiding Bolt. If something Guiding Bolts us, it's 4d6. I'm just like, oh, I'll just 1d8 plus 6 this. Like, that's not going to heal the amount of damage they've just done.
Such a fucking pleb. Ugh.
I'm just saying. That spells for the same level of healing are more powerful than the heal itself.
Spells
So
cost
Dolphus-
spell slots.
Yeah, so Dolphus has donated with, Oi, I'm back. B, a riddle for you. Give them the D. Don't take the L. None better than I. I'm a real G. Phonetically pronounce ache. I'm better than T. Yeah, pump that in your little dirty noise holes, you nasties. Hope your day goes swimmingly. Cheers, mates. I've got no idea.
Next one.
It's Bud Light.
I'm not going to work that out. My brain.
It's Bud Light. I don't know why. Bud Light. Changer has donated a
Because we're
multi-part
sponsored by
donor.
him.
Part 1. Hey guys, just wanted to share some love as I've recently been binging your VODs. I've had a really shit year, but you guys have helped a lot lately, especially with my mental health issues. And I will share the rest of there's 3 donations in total for a total of $15 dues. I will share the rest of the story with the guys. Thank you very much for your donation. Happy to have helped as well through it all. Xstar X with a quarter hundo. Hi again, rollers. I donated for the first time last week, but there were a few technical difficulties. Either way, just wanted to say thanks for the many months of entertainment. You guys are amazing. I'll be able to catch more live sessions, so I'll talk to you later.
Awesome.
Darth Day 41, donation, no message. Thank you very much. Fail. Those were stressful and traumatizing 3 hours, and my Quill plushie isn't even here yet to be aggressively cuddled. Truly a tragedy. But hey, Marvel Valor reunion, that was nice. Fingers crossed for Valor flying a city. That'd be extremely cool. Crispy with a half hundo yet again. Yet another amazing but stressful episode. Brilliant imagery and wonderful gameplay. Thanks to all for another week of such stellar entertainment. Thank you very much, Crispy.
Thank you very much. Very kind.
Thanks, Crispy.
Area of Chaos. I never get to donate, but I felt like I should to apologize for the throwing my Quill plushie down some stairs to make a funny video. It was very funny.
It was funny.
It was very good. It was really good.
It truly isn't a flying toy. Love you
Yeah.
guys. Thanks for everything you do. It's quite all right. I've thrown mine down as well. And, yeah, not a flying toy. Jellybean Key also donated with had to get a COVID test today, which is sucky, but this stream always helps. Also, even through exhaustion and bad COVID symptoms, Mark still made me tear up with his "You saved the soul." Fuck you, Mark. I'm weak, and you took advantage of it.
Reed's just like, you got me.
That was so good.
Me too. Got me too.
So smug about it as well. I saw his little smile.
Yeah.
That's not smug. That's I'm really happy that my awesome friend Reed did a cool thing with a player character. That's not smug. That's I'm really happy for a player doing a cool thing.
If I did it, would be smug.
It's like when Kim, you've all done stuff where I've had that you did. Like when you did the fucking mending Tiangong thing with Nova, I was like, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I'm already weak. This is weakening me even more.
We also had some gifted subs after the break from Crispy, gifting more subs. Good God. AJI Casey and some bits as well from Boondoggle. And this donation has just come through as well. Pure Bullfit, who donates with first time here. I just want to see more high production RP projects out there. Great job to each of you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that is Delot, I believe.
Amazing.
As the kids say. They say Delot.
Delot.
Do everyone?
Sure. Of course they do.
That's Delot.
He's gone.
I faded him out.
Oh,
Yeah,
for the greater
as should
good.
be. Cool. Well, thank you very much.
Good.
The greater good. Thank you very much, everybody. We will be back on Tuesday for some Chaos Quads playing Dark Alliance. So that's going to be on Tuesday, 8 till late on High Rollers D&D. Hopefully back on Thursday for Curse of Strahd, which if you've not watched yet, that's going to be wrapping up, I think, as well, Curse of Strahd. I don't think we've got too many sessions of that left. And then back on Sunday for the Battle of the City of Glass. I just want to see what he does next. No, he's just gone.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh no, he's in our houses.
There we go. We'll be back then. Until then, take care. We love you. Play D&D. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Forehead.
Bye.
Play D&D.